Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Endless Killing. I synthesize the root of all things. Chapter 41. Su Shu took Bai Ling Miao to the place where the wolves and Zhao Yun were. Far away, it is a high mountain piercing into the sky like a sharp sword, and there are countless bandits and secret whistles on the mountain. Surrounded by natural wide rivers, surrounded by mountains. This is the chief rudder of Qingfengjai. Has Ling Er been brought here? Su Shu's eyes were cold. That happened to be dealt with together. Anyway, he didn't intend to let Qingfengjai go. This legendary task will be completed sooner or later. Bai Ling Miao on the side became short of breath. The chief rudder of Qingfeng village. There are 3 9-star battle forces, at least tens of thousands of bandit troops are among them. And Su Shu only has 100 units in his hand. My lord, this terrain is easy to defend and difficult to attack, so we must use extraordinary troops. Zhao Yun stared at Qingfeng village for a while, and then came to a conclusion. Raiders. Su Shu nodded. What good idea do you have? Zhao Yun smiled lightly. Leaning close to Su Shu's ear, he whispered a few words. Good plan. Su Shu's eyes lit up. It's all because of the Lord's strength that the last general dares to take such risks. Zhao Yun smiled and complimented Su Shu, with a gentle, respectful and thrifty attitude. Su Shu waved his hand. Wangkai, let all the wolves sneak into the forest and eat anyone they see. Don't leave the corpse for me. Be careful not to get caught. Ow! Without saying a word, Wangkai rushed out with the pack of wolves. Zhao Yun also led the army and disappeared into a small road. Bai Ling Miao next to her stared wide-eyed, wondering what Su Shu was going to do. 100 people beat 10,000 people. This is too impossible. After Su Shu gave the order, he sat down where he was and waited quietly. After a while, a pack of wolves could be seen killing up the mountain, and soon Qingfengjai seemed to be facing a formidable enemy. A large number of bandits swarmed down and began to attack the pack of wolves. The sound of shouting and roaring came soon. Under the leadership of Wangkai, the wolves did not like to fight at all, and tried to disrupt the battle formation of the bandits as much as possible. If only prosperity. It definitely won't last long. But soon, from the rear of the bandit camp, a figure of a white horse and a silver spear suddenly shot out, and the unsuspecting bandits were immediately broken through by Zhao Yun. Wangkai and Zhao Yun, one front and one back, one south and one north. Like 2 torrents of one gold and one white rushing into the vast ocean of black bandits, sometimes converging and sometimes diverging, killing 7 in and 7 out, Zhao Yun's body was soon covered with blood. Only in this way, the bandits can quickly restore order by virtue of their numbers. And at this moment, Su moved. He didn't take Bai Ling Miao with him, but flickered alone. Not going anywhere else. Instead, go straight to the main rudder camp of Qingfengjai. Swish. Amidst the sound of shouting and killing, Su Shu turned the magic knife into a 2-handed saber. Slowly walked towards the main rudder camp. There were only 2 men left in the camp. One is weak in Taoist robes, and the other is thick in battle armor. Another old man has gone down the mountain to stop Zhao Yun. All 4 Vajra are here. Swish. Several 8-star bandits stationed outside the gate were beheaded to death by Su Shu. The whole Qingfeng village became a mess. Ding. You gain strength +1, intermediate practitioner meet. The dropped equipment was quickly picked up by Su Shu. The key point is that he also found several big eagles who were chosen, and synthesized their talent after killing them. Su Shu's blink now increases the distance by 20 meters. Blood surging HP recovery becomes 10% per second. Zhao Yun and the Wolf King's experience in killing enemies outside also made Su Shu's experience value increase wildly. This feeling is really not ordinary cool. Who is coming? The burly man in the camp who was giving orders coldly shouted at Su Shu. Come on, grab him. The frail man next to him also roared immediately. But no one showed up. Su Shu wiped the blood off Dao's body, and smiled coldly. Ling Er, where is it? 2 rows of data popped up in front of my eyes. Northern Master, Level 10 Novice Village Lord Level Warrior System. Power, 81. Agility, 86. Physique, 82. Mental Energy, 1000. Commander Skills. Level 1 Change. You can command the formation at any time. Each time the formation randomly increases the ability of the whole army. Level 2 Tiger Roaring Array. The attribute of the whole army is enhanced by 30%, which lasts for 5 seconds, and the subsequent random attributes are enhanced by 10%, which lasts until the end of the battle. Level 2 Whistling Mountains. Command Bandit Type Arms. All attribute effects plus 30%. Command Points 30. Commander-in-Chief's Evaluation. Moderate and Conservative. Combat Rating 9 stars. South Master. Level 10 Novice Village Lord Level Cultivator. Power 70. Agility 77. Constitution 75. Mental Energy 3000. Skills Level 2 Tianmen Sect Foundation Establishment DAFA. Body Recovery Speed plus 100%. Body Light as a Swallow. After the Foundation establishment is completed, you can get all attributes plus 10%. Level 2 Tiangong Talisman Rectification Method. Draw amulets. Randomly generate various attack effects. The upper limit of the effect depends on the upper limit of mental energy. Level 2 Calling the Soul Evil Method. Causing mental energetics 30% damage to the target, not immune, controlling the opponent's body. Equipment. Level 1, Level 10 Interspatial Ring, Level 2, Level 10 Magical Item Sword, Level 3, Level 10 Lord Level Equipment Crane Feather. Combat Rating 9 stars. By East, West, North, South, is this playing Mahjong? Su Shu's first reaction when he saw the two masters was this. Then come back to God. Of the two masters, one is a warrior, and the other is a cultivator. It seems that the cultivation path of the killing field is really contentious. Baikyu Library. In addition to practitioner, I have seen official masters before, but I didn't expect there to be practitioners. But all the energy will be calculated as combat power evaluation. Without saying a word, he first rushed towards Bei Dang's house. Getting rid of the generals first can relieve Zhao Yun's pressure. Swish. With Su Shu's current attributes. A knife in the past. Nan Dangjia on the opposite side had already thrown out a large piece of talisman paper. These talisman papers burst open in the void. There was a thunderous movement. In an instant, Su Shu's whole body was shocked. Flesh burst open. The magic knife was also blown to pieces. The strength of this cultivator is really strong. However, Su Shu's injury was quickly repaired by blood surging. He didn't hesitate. Setsuna said, drawing talismans, right. See how many talismans you have left. Strong against the continuous spell lethality. Su Shu suddenly approached Bei Dang's house. The North leader's personal combat power is not strong, so he quickly dispatched a team of 8-star bandits to stand in front of Su Shu. Formation. A turtle-shaped formation resisted Su Shu firmly. Su Shu directly launched thunder. Boom. There was a burst of thunder in the clear sky, and the top of the camp was instantly overturned by the violent energy. Turtle formation Setsuna was crushed. Bright talisman. However, the head of Nan Nan threw out a talisman in time, covering all the remaining power of Su Shu's thunder, without causing more damage. This talisman is quite strong, as expected of a cultivator. Su Shu took advantage of the situation and flashed in front of Bei Dangjia. Cut off with one knife. Bang! Bei Dangjia picked up a big knife and blocked it for himself. But the arm was quickly cut to pieces by Su Shu. Then Su Shu punched him on the head. The huge force immediately made him fall backwards. Thunderfire Talisman. Another talisman from Nan Dangjia galloped towards Su Shu at high speed. Blue thunder and orange flames intersect. The moment it touched Su Shu, it exploded. Boom! Su Shu had a hideous wound all over his body, and he quickly repaired it. Baikyu Library. The Baidang family next to him took advantage of the situation and fled. Attracted more bandits. Su Shu didn't dodge at all, and flashed directly in front of him, punching him in the head again. Swish. At the same time, he slashed another spell of Nan Dangjia with a knife. Puff. Bei Dangjia spat out a mouthful of blood, and waved to Su Shu with wide-eyed eyes, "No. I surrender, I surrender." His voice just came out. Su Shu's knife had already landed on his neck. Boom! Bei Dangjia's wide-eyed head rolled to the ground. Suddenly, a notification sound came from Su Shu's ear. Cross-level killing of a Lord-level existence, your killing value +3. Your experience +200. Su Shu frowned looking at the dead head. What did you just say? Forget it, it doesn't matter anyway. Wow, The magic knife rolled up the gorgeous knife flowers, and directly chopped off all the bandits who rushed forward. The news is out. Most of the bandits with 8-star combat power who surrounded Zhao Yun and others below have rushed back and came to chase and kill Su Shu. Even Nashi is here. Of the 4 Vajra, 2 have died. Swish. The next time Su Shu blinked, he came directly in front of Nan Dangja. He reached out and grabbed his neck directly. You hit me with a spell just now, it was so cool. As a cultivator, Nan Dangja is extremely strong in mental energy, but his other attributes are weak, so Su Shu directly picked him up and stared at him in horror. He threw down so many spells. He is not dead. Not only did he not die, but his injuries were healed extremely quickly. Is this the Destiny one? He also wanted to secretly take out the spell to resist. But Su Shu chopped off his fingers and talisman. Within 7 steps, the knife is fast. Su Shu smiled. As soon as Nan Dangja gritted his teeth, the spirit power of Foundation establishment in his body gushed out. Go directly along the meridians in Su Shu's body towards the Baihui acupoint on the top of Su Shu's head. Soul-wrenching. This is the top skill taught to him by his master. Study. Su Shu felt an inexplicable mental energy pouring into his head, turning into a skull to fight with him. Pain. It hurts so much. This pain completely aroused Su Shu's fierceness. It reminded him of the pain of being tortured and killed by the Phantom Man in the game. Die to Grandpa. Su Shu instantly inspired totally crazy talent. Nan Dangja's fear of Su Shu immediately turned into madness, and his spellcasting was interrupted. With red eyes, he took out a charm and sprinkled it in all directions. Go to hell. A bandit nearby was killed in the blast. Baikyu Library. But after all, it is the existence of 9-star combat power. Nan Dangja recovered his sanity after a few seconds. Just when he wanted to continue to use seduction on Su Shu. Swish. Su Shu's knife was already in front of his neck. Ask you a few questions. If you answer one wrong, your head will move. Nan Dangja was covered in cold sweat. Slowly got down on the body. You are a good man. If you ask, I will answer all your questions. How many practitioners are there in this world? This is the first question from Su Shu. I'm just a small disciple of the Tianmen sect in the Qi refining period, I really don't know. Nan Dangja answered tremblingly. Besides cultivators, how many other existences exist in this world? Su Shu asked again. Nan Dangja sorted out his thoughts, and said slowly, humans, beasts, demons, gods, ghosts. All races have their strong ones, and 10,000 ways of cultivation. I only know the tip of the iceberg. All right. After Su Shu asked, he swung the knife straight away. I surrender. This time, Nan Dangja spoke faster than Bei Dangja. Su Shu heard clearly. But it's useless. Su Shu didn't intend to let this guy go at all. Swish. The heads of the south heads and the north heads are placed side by side, and they are both dead. Cross-level killing of a lord-level existence, your killing value +3. Your experience +200. After the 2 died, Su Shu turned around and was about to go to support Zhao Yun and the Wolf King. At this time, the light of a knife piercing through the air flew over. I saw an old man holding a knife, staring at Su Shu with extremely sharp eyes. A property bar flashed in front of Su Shu's eyes. Shi Dangja, level 10 novice village lord level military repairer. Military strength. Training period. Power. 88. Agility. 86. Physique. 82. Mental energy. 800. Skill. Level 2 Tianyan Shendao, use a knife weapon. Increase the lethality by 30%. Level 2 Supreme in knife, every time you use a knife weapon to fight for 1 second, increase all attributes by 1%, up to 50%. Level 2 Drinking blood and refining knife, using knives to deal damage to the enemy will convert 30% of the damage to own healing, and absorb 10% of the opponent's attributes, each lasting for 5 seconds. Equipment. Lord level weapon. Natural sword bloodthirsty. Combat rating. 9 stars. In the hand of the old man holding the knife is a long broad-bladed knife, a bit like the horse-chopping knife in Su Shu's hand. But it's completely blood-red. The wailing of innocent souls can be heard faintly above. I'm going to. Bing Shou. Su Shu paused. There are really all kinds of cultivation paths in this world. Although it feels a little inconsistent, it is not so inconsistent under the 4 attributes. Swish. The old man holding the knife slammed at once, not giving Sushu the slightest chance to breathe. Sushu also lost his temper. They are all playing with knives, who is afraid of whom? Golden Crow Saber Technique. The edge of the magic knife is covered with a faint golden glow, making it even more powerful. Sushu slashed at him several times, directly slashing Exidangja until he could only parry. Good saber technique. Shidangja's eyes were shining brightly. The saber technique in his hands is extremely skillful and has been upgraded to a higher level. Fighting with Sushu, the two sides are almost evenly matched. But Sushu's attribute is 1 star stronger than him. This is not something that can be covered by skills. Soon he was pinned down by Sushu again. More bandits also poured into Dajai. Seeing invincible, Shidangja became ruthless, and swung his sword to kill several bandits, drawing all the blood of the other party into the sword. The blood-red saber was more powerful than before. This in turn suppressed Sushu. Is there such a thing as evil? Sushu was speechless. But my heart is also hot. If you can get these saber technique skills, own melee lethality will definitely be improved to a higher level. Swish. Sushu's figure turned into another direction. It can be said that it disappeared. Sea Elder wiped the sweat from the back of his head and followed closely behind. Follow Sushu into the forest. Yet it's just around the corner. West Elder suddenly saw a figure that he would never forget. His eyes suddenly widened. Own master, Kansai Knife King, He Shao. He was also the enemy of life and death who was killed by his sneak attack. He is still alive. Among the pine forests, the tall and broad figure had a 3-foot-long knife mark on its chest. A towering man. There was a strong and extremely sharp aura exuding from all over his body. The machete in his hand is even tempered enough to cut through the shattering void. God-level military repair. Master. Master. She Elder trembled violently all over, and knelt down as soon as his knees gave way. Weeping loudly. The disciple really didn't mean to harm you back then, Master, you have to believe me, you must believe me. The strong man with the knife raised his machete and slowly walked towards him. Spit out a sound of steel with a metallic trill. Evil creature, you used 10,000 flower poison to attack and kill me, raped and killed my daughter, and destroyed my sect. What else do you have to say today? Master, I was wrong, I was really wrong. She Elder knew that even after so many years, he would not be the opponent of the god-level military master. Stop talking. Swish. The strong man with the knife coldly spit out a sentence. This seat is here to clean up the door today. The machete fell. West Elder's head was chopped off and fell to the ground, his eyes widened, revealing extreme horror until death. Cross-level killing of a lord-level existence, your killing value +3. Your experience +200. Sushu heard several beeps in his ears, and he wiped away the blood on the knife. If you don't do anything wrong in your life, you won't be surprised if you knock on the door in the middle of the night. If the Dream Thief hadn't been activated temporarily to steal the fear in She Elder's heart, it wouldn't have made the other party afraid to resist and die in the dream so easily. Certainly, to be trapped in a dream so easily. West Elder, as a soldier, his mental energy is too low is one of the reasons, and the second may be that he has a huge conscience hidden in his heart, which induces such a big fear. 4 Vajra, all killed. The notification sound for completing the task has not yet come from the battlefield. This made Sushu a little confused. He first carried the heads of the 3 masters, slowly walked out of Dajai, and stood at the highest point of the main rudder. Shout loudly. The echo traveled far. The 4 Vajra are dead. The 4 Vajra are dead. The 4 Vajra are dead. Then Sushu took out another piece of white cloth with big characters written in blood, like a big flag. On the cloth is a line of hideous characters. The murderer Daxia Sushu. For a moment, Qingfengjai, where the fighting was chaotic, all fell silent, and tens of thousands of bandits looked up at the top of the mountain together. The figure of the boy holding the head on the top. How mighty and chic that is. The 4 Vajra is dead, the murderer Da Sha Sushu. The bandits put down their weapons spontaneously, and began to surrender to the figure on the top of the mountain from the bottom of their hearts. 4 Vajra, all died in his hands. Who dares to resist? I am willing to surrender. Baikuku, I am willing to surrender. Zhao Yun, who was in a difficult situation among the tens of thousands of bandits, raised his head and saw the figure of the young man, let out a long breath, got off his horse and kowtowed. My lord is mighty. Wang Kai, who was even more embarrassed, was so excited that he raised his head to the sky and screamed, leading the pack of wolves to howl together, surrendering to the king of On. Ah, 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 ... Biling Miao at the foot of the mountain was originally discussing with everyone in the group about a plan to support Su Shu. From everyone's point of view, even if Su Shu is powerful and wants to break into the camp of tens of thousands of bandits, it is still very risky to fight against the three Vajra. Unexpectedly, only 10 minutes had passed. Su Shu appeared on the top of the mountain. Biling Miao was stunned. The boy's figure entered into her mind deeply at this moment. Except him. There is no such style in the world. Everyone in the group was stunned at the same time. Waves of extremely shocking voices frantically swiped the screen in the chat group. Lu Ben. It's so handsome, is this the boss? Besides strength, the most handsome thing about the boss is his wisdom. Tan Yan. My heart has been completely taken away by this man. If he could me once, I would be willing to lose 10 years of my life. Lin Jia. From now on, Su Shu will definitely be the most important candidate in our Daxia organization, there is no one. Absolutely no one. Xu Yanran. Please, why is there such a handsome and strong man in the world? Those little fresh meats on Blue Star are so weak, okay. No one is handsome and no one is strong. I am completely mature. Shu is a fan. Tan Yan. Boss Su Shu, God forever. Boss Su Shu, eternal God. A bunch of swiping screens quickly appeared in the group. I didn't expect this anonymous person to be so bold. He dared to enter the bandit village alone. He really thought he could single out 3 9-stars. When he loses later, let's sneak in and kill him immediately, don't leave him any chance. In a dark ravine, the blonde man was excitedly explaining the next plan to his teammates. But at this moment, Su Shu carries the heads of the 3 masters. The figure stood up. The blonde man stopped abruptly. All members of the god-killing squad were stunned and looked at each other in blank dismay. It only took him 10 minutes to kill 3 9-stars. This is 3 9-star combat power. How is this possible? Su Shu looked at the actions of the bandits, and thought that there should be no problem at all. All the corpses of the 3 major Vajras were moved out. Use decomposition. Your agility +5, get the heart of knife repair 1. Human flesh, level 2 skill crystallization, natal magic knife bloodthirsty. Your physique +5, get the heart of a warrior 1, human flesh, level 2 skill crystal. Your mental energy +100, get the heart of a cultivator 1, human flesh, level 2 skill crystal, talisman, mahogany sword. 3 lord level certificates. Su Shu took these 3 hearts and a lot of skill crystals, and his heart blossomed with joy. Baiku library. Then the skills of the 3 generals were synthesized together. Ding! You have obtained the level 3 warrior skill everyone for me. Everyone for me. Every time you die, you can convert 30% of all attributes to yourself for 30 seconds. Followed by 3 comprehension skills. Ding! You have obtained the level 3 cultivator skill Xuanzhen Junwei. Xuanzhen Junwei, you can start cultivating as a cultivator. Every time you increase a level, you will get 5% of all attributes, and it also includes talismans, spells, etc. Followed by 3 knife repair skills. Ding! You have obtained a level 3 knife repair skill, Bloodthirsty Crazy Knife. Bloodthirsty Crazy Knife, you use a knife weapon to increase the lethality by 30%. You can choose a knife as your natal knife. The natal knife's lethality +30%. The damage caused by the knife weapon to the enemy, it will convert 30% to own healing, and absorb 10% of the opponent's attributes, each lasting for 5 seconds. Ha ha ha. Su Shu's heart blossomed with joy. Just the skills alone, this time I'll make a lot of money. 3 level 3 skills. Then he noticed, including the heart of the previous martial king. There is a line of small characters under the 4 heart introduction columns. Note: collect all 4 certificates that can be synthesized into killing vocation, and unlock the legendary killing vocation. The vocation of killing. Su Shu's heart suddenly jumped up. Then all 4 hearts were synthesized together. Ding! Synthesis complete. You have obtained the legendary killing vocation certificate, Heaven's Punishment Practitioner. Su Shu couldn't wait to start checking the data. Heaven's Punishment Practitioner, Legendary Killing Vocation Certificate. Vocation Level G. Blessing of Vocation. All attribute resistance plus 10%, all attribute growth plus 10%. Vocation Natal Skills. Heavenly Punishment. When the enemy is strong and we are weak, there is a 50% chance to activate the Heaven's Punishment state, increasing all attributes by 50% and ignoring all the opponent's defenses. Occupation Features. Punishment on behalf of the heavens, after killing the chosen ones of the same level. Will get the opponent's 1% specialty attribute. The higher the target level, the higher the attribute points obtained. Note: this vocation will be activated after killing more than 100 hostile bloodline chosen ones. Current progress, 14/100ths. Note: after killing 100 hostile bloodlines, you will gain 0.001% of battlefield control. Su Shu put away the certificate of vocation, and couldn't help but feel ecstatic. Good guy. Killing people directly obtains attributes. Doesn't that mean that he can earn 2 waves of attributes? You can also gain control of the battlefield by killing people. Even if it is only 1/10,000th. But as long as you kill enough people, you will have a chance to get it. Obtaining the right to control the battlefield, it is conceivable that he is simply the chosen child of the battlefield. After activating this vocation, I have more confidence in the screening in the novice area. If you want to start this vocation, you have to kill 100 aliens. Counting everything, Su Shu has only killed 14 people so far. But Su Shu is not in a hurry. In the killing field, the most indispensable thing is the opportunity to kill. Of the 100 million chosen ones, only a few thousand were able to return to Blue Star alive. Su Shu turned his head indifferently, and looked at the wisps of phantom moving in the jungle not far away, with a sneer on the corner of his mouth. Come yet, you don't need to do it yourself, just deliver it to your door. Of course, Su Shu would not be so stupid as to take the initiative to attack people of other races. It is still in the small division stage. If you take the initiative to do it, you will become famous. But what made Su Shu feel a little strange? The entire Qingfang village was destroyed by him. Where's TM Ling? What about own epic missions? Strange. Cooperate with myself until now. Played a lonely. But then, before the sea-level god-killing team attacked Su Shu, strands of golden light slowly appeared in the void. This golden light outlines a concrete human figure between the earth and the sky. When she appeared, the void trembled. It caused a stir on the mountain below. Countless thieves also showed terrified expressions. The master is born. The head of the closed-door training, who was seeking the body of a god-servant, showed up. Didn't she sit down a long time ago? The master is still alive. Su Shu's face became silent for an instant. Because of the golden human figure in front of him, the whole body seems to be made of gold. The figure is incomparably graceful, and there is a touch of divine power in every demeanor. That's a whole other level of energy. It was as if a god had descended into the world. And what made him feel speechless even more? The face of this golden goddess turned out to be Ling. This is really a big hole. Su Shu was speechless for a while. He co-authored it by himself for a long time, but he actually brought the ultimate boss of the division by his side. Even Bai Ling Miao, who was watching this scene, was stunned. Totally unexpected. In addition to the 4 Vajras in Qingfangjai, the real master is actually Ling. Looking at the golden goddess, a message popped up in front of Su Shu's eyes. Big head of Qingfangjai god servant, level 12 legendary god creature. Introduction. It has been transformed into the body of an elementary god servant, possessing a power thousands of times greater than that of ordinary people. Strength, 100 points. Agility, 100 points. Constitution, 100 points. Mental energy, 3000 points. Level 3 skill body of elementary god attendant, the damage of all attributes is weakened by 300 points. Level 3 skill heavenly Dao blade. Gather a heavenly Dao with divine power, causing 50% mental energy damage. Level 3 skill divine power, for opponents whose strength is lower than own, cause 10% weakening of all attributes. Equipment, none. Combat rating, 11 stars. It turned out to be an 11-star combat power. Su Shu was stunned. Already knew the division legendary quest wasn't that good. Brush. But did not expect. The final difficulty reached 11 stars. If it develops normally, it means that at least 3S level talents must be produced in this division to have a chance to successfully pass the division's legendary level mission. And everyone must be level 10 or higher. For most partitions, as long as the basic tasks are completed, the next stage can be opened. And if he singled out the legendary task by himself, he would still be singled out across stages. In the end, the difficulty was raised to an unimaginable level. At the same time, Su Shu heard the sound of a battlefield notification. This existence is the final boss of the division's legendary mission. After killing it, you can get the division's legendary reward. Ding! It is detected that the selected person has activated the pre-epic mission conditions. After killing this boss, the epic mission in the central area will be opened. Note: you can also give up this epic mission. Turn around and escape from the 500-meter range of the final boss. This boss will not pursue you. In a hidden place on the back mountain of Qingfengjai, Ling was nervously watching the scene down the mountain, her jade hands clenched into small fists, her eyes full of anticipation. A soft moan of a graceful girl came faintly. Young master. Ling has already unloaded all the weapons of the body of the god servant in order for the young master to be able to succeed in my choice for the throne, and I hope that the young master will never disappoint Ling. The girl's bright eyes pierced through the sea of people, only focusing on the young man in the middle of the battlefield. I see. Su Shu understood completely now. Co-authoring Ling is the condition for starting an epic mission, that's right. But her strength is fully 11 stars. And it is also the final boss of the legendary mission. I have to defeat her before I can start the epic mission. Of course, Su Shu has another option. That is to run away now. According to the prompt on the battlefield, the body of the servant of the gods will not pursue. However, will Su Shu choose to escape? Of course not. It's all here, how will you know the result if you don't fight? Su Shu's eyes burst out with intense fighting intent. It's just a challenge. Swish. In the void, the body of the god attendant opened his eyes that seemed to be made of pure gold, and glanced at Su Shu without the slightest emotion. The whole body reveals a strong divine power. With a light wave of his hand, the earth trembled, and countless bandits below knelt and kowtowed. A huge pure golden sharp blade suddenly appeared in the void, piercing fiercely towards Su Shu. No matter the mental energy or strength of this giant blade, it far exceeds what Su Shu can resist. Su Shu couldn't dodge for a while, and he was about to be stabbed to death. At this time, Zhao Yun stepped forward suddenly, and swung the silver spear in his hand away from the giant golden blade, and at the same time, the silver spear was cut off from it. My lord, let's go. Zhao Yun's shoulder was cleaved by the huge blade with a deep scar that was visible to the bone. He threw away the silver spear and picked up a long spear casually to block in front of Su Shu, turning his head and shouting at Su Shu sternly. Zhao Yun's loyalty is really not covered. Su Shu sighed inwardly. But he stepped forward and waved Zhao Yun back off. My lord, Zhao Yun was taken aback. Back off, I have my own calculations in my heart. Su Shu said something again. Only then did Zhao Yun turn around and retreat. At this time, many of the selected candidates from the Great Shah and Bailing Miao and others in the surrounding area felt numb all over. 11 stars. That is an 11-star legendary existence. He shouted at Su Shu repeatedly. Boss, be careful. This is not something we can resist now, let's go. Boss, don't be impulsive. Even if the 11-star powerhouse is placed in the central area, it will be a big boss who can sweep the area. Let's go, this has nothing to do with you. Su Shu just turned around and said something to them. Then he used flashes to appear in midair, facing the pure golden Ling. The body of the god attendant showed a rare expression of struggle. But it quickly turned into emotionless indifference. Continuing to wave his hands, the next giant blade rushed towards Su Shu fiercely. Gluttonous blood, Su Shu shouted. Layers of dragon scales spread all over his body, all attributes rose instantly, and the golden giant blade flew away with a sharp knife. I want to give up the legendary and epic missions that I have been playing for so long. Impossible. Coming to the killing field is to become stronger, at all costs to become stronger. If you are timid, how can you have the possibility of becoming a god? This is the will in Su Shu's heart. At this time, a few Caucasians who had been hiding in the grass for a long time with the help of their invisibility also rushed out. It's now. The leading white man gave a loud shout. He really overestimated himself and wanted to challenge the legendary boss. A chestnut-haired Caucasian woman waved her hand indifferently, and launched it together with several others. A force of the same color as flesh and blood permeated the body and entered the ground. It actually caused pregnant twins to bulge up everywhere on the earth, including trees, flowers, and even roadsides. The bellies of the flies that flew past grew bigger, as if they were pregnant for 10 months. Finally it's out, what a good time to pick it. Su Shu looked at the sea-level god-killing team and sneered. He also waited for a long time. Snapped, snapped, snapped. The next moment, the ubiquitous twins burst open, spilling turbid plasma and thick yellow water, accompanied by feathers. Evil sarcomas hatched out of it one by one. Su Shu even saw that a tiger and leopard rider was pregnant and had such a sarcoma. Su Shu couldn't help but feel a chill. What kind of trick ability is this? Can everything get pregnant? These evil spirits had extremely high fighting power, and they cleared out the tiger and leopard riders in front of Su Shu in a short while, and rushed towards Su Shu at high speed. At the same time, the white woman also took out a scroll emitting red light. Use props. The trial of lore. After the prop dissipated in the sky, from nowhere, the chosen ones from several other subdistricts led by Caesar rushed out, ran into the range of red light diffusion. In this battlefield, everyone could clearly hear the loud notification sound from the battlefield. Sea-level lore trial begins. Trial Camp 1, 1 person. Trial Camp 2, 113 people. ... Wow, the red light spread loudly, enveloping the entire range of 5 kilometers centered on Su Shu, which just happened to isolate Su Shu alone from 100 chosen people of different races, including the body of the god servant. 100 selected people from different races, plus a sea-level god-killing team, plus an 11-star legendary boss. Against Su Shu alone, Lu Jia, who was watching the battle not far away, and other high-ranking candidates from the Great Shah, had their complexions instantly collapsed, extremely gloomy. Bursts of resentful cursing burst out suddenly. Your mother, I knew that these aliens are playing tricks again. What should I do? They use the item lore trial. In this trial, killing the enemy personnel can get most of the enemy's spoils, including skills, equipment, arms, etc. This group of aliens was premeditated. Where's the Kunlun team? Where did our Kunlun team go? The Kunlun team can't be contacted. The Kunlun team in our division has an important mission. Lu Ben on the side has already scolded. What task is more important than the safety of the boss? Before Lin Jia could speak, Tan Yan had already pulled out a small triangular cube and threw it into the void. Wow, the triangular block spread out impressively. A battlefield notification sound came from the void. Golden triangle of sea-level props, already used. The current lore trial rules have changed. The current camp situation. Camp 1, 68 people. Camp 2, 100 people. ... Su Shu instantly understood the situation. The chosen ones of Daxia also used the Dao tool, forcibly joined this lore trial, although it can't compare to the lore that these aliens have prepared for so long. These 100 aliens are all talents above E level, so they can be said to be elites. But at any rate, Su Shu's situation has been reversed. Seeing the situation develop to this scene, the eyes of the divine servant in the void became confused, as if something was manipulating her not to do anything to Su Shu. Su Shu didn't pay attention to this scene, instead he smiled when he saw the game of killing himself. There are enough people here, it should be enough for me to start the vocation of killing. Many of the selected candidates of foreign races who came in front of them were enraged when they heard this. No matter how strong you are, under the oppression of an 11-star boss and so many people, can you still turn the world upside down? How dare you speak so boldly? ... Caesar slowly activated his OWNC level talent and appeared in front of Su Shu. C-level people are talent. The power of the king is granted by God. Wow, All nearby alien chosen ones, including the body of the gods, all have a 10% increase in mental energy. The combat power gathered together is even stronger. This talent is similar to Lin Jia's talent. Caesar sneered and looked at Su Shu, the independent genius of Daxia. Hey, you know nothing about the killing field, and you still want to gain the power you don't deserve. Get ready to die here. The man from the Sakura kingdom on the side also stepped forward to look at Su Shu coldly, and said sarcastically, "You are not the only one who killed Daxia. As long as our two races exist in the world, don't expect your Daxia to have any. A day when you can stand up." The other selected candidates from other races also looked at Su Shu with a sneer. In their view, Su Shu was already a piece of meat on the pallet, and it was impossible to escape. But Su Shu just looked at the people in front of him excitedly, pointing with his finger while watching, muttering something. 2C level talents, 10D level talents, no, 13. There are still so many E level talents. It's okay, I really don't know how to thank you. These few words immediately stunned Caesar and the man from the Sakura country in front of Brother Su. Nani, all the chosen ones from other races were stunned, with unparalleled anger shooting out of their eyes. Is he already counting us as his trophies? You're too arrogant, we won't forgive you. This shame must be washed away with his blood. Lin Jia and the others who rushed over from behind were also stunned when they saw Su Shu's appearance. They could see that Su Shu was not a fake. The look of excitement and anticipation in his eyes is down to earth. He really didn't take this mortal situation seriously. The selected candidates in Daxia had already healed Zhao Yun's injuries with the healing talent. Su Shu waved at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun immediately understood, and led the tiger and leopard riders forward. They are not good at dealing with the weird god-killing team. But kill the alien chosen. That was a breeze. Swish. After many tiger and leopard riders and Zhao Yun charged, the originally aggressive alien race's chosen ones wailed all over the place, constantly resorting to various means to evade and move wildly, not daring to confront Zhao Yun's team head-on. They never thought that Su Shu would send soldiers to strangle them regardless of his own safety. All of a sudden, the many sarcoma babies who had just been summoned also began to rush towards Zhao Yun and others. Zhao Yun didn't care, and started chasing and killing the chosen ones of other races. Su Shu looked indifferent, and slowly uttered a sentence. Even a lion in trouble is not something a group of wild dogs can provoke. The boss is domineering. The boss said well. Su Shu is surrounded by many great Sha candidates. Tan Yan, Lin Jia, Lu Ben and others nodded their heads. Dare to step forward to challenge the boss with this strength. You really take yourself too seriously. But the more dangerous is yet to come. The body of the divine attendant finally couldn't suppress the divinity in his eyes, and he summoned the sky-filled golden knife, piercing straight towards Su Shu. This is an 11-star combat power. At the same time, Caesar in the distance shouted, "God-killing squad, don't be distracted, just focus on cleaning up Su Shu." Crash, crash, the familiar singing voice from the battlefield came. Many candidates from the great Sha around Su Shu were affected. Without the Kunlun team, in this lore trial, the chosen side of Daxia is at a disadvantage. Moreover, the sarcoma devil embryos that hatch continuously on the ground are even more rampant. All the chosen ones or units killed by the magic tire will all become parasites of the magic tire, giving birth to more magic tires. This is simply a rare talent, even weirder than Su Shu's talent. Although a single mode is not considered powerful, this super infectious ability is simply amazing. What exactly is this? Baiku Library. Su Shu felt a little bit puzzled, but none of the magic tires could get into his body. He killed it with a wave of his hand. However, under the oppression of the body of the 11-star fighter, Su Shu couldn't help but seem a little cramped and nervous. Seeing this scene, Caesar and the other selected candidates were overjoyed. While escaping from Zhao Yun's pursuit, he turned around and yelled at the god-killing team, "Quickly activate the magic transformation of desire and turn him into a parasite." Hum 1. As soon as the words fell, the eyes of everyone in the god-killing squad turned pure black. A part of her body began to bleed pus, swell, and flow yellow water, as if she was pregnant. A magic tire slowly emerged from the bodies of several people. It merged with all the magic embryos that were born before, and twisted into a black phantom, exuding bursts of filthy breath, and entangled Su Shu, who was fighting the body of the god servant. This, so cool. That's right. Su Shu's first feeling was really cool. I just feel that my whole body is extremely slippery, as if there are countless graceful young women who are honest with me, and there are bursts of charming voices in my ears. Can I have a baby? Give me a child. Have a baby, don't you want an own baby? Su Shu's face turned red instantly when he was teased, and his whole body reacted. This reaction does not seem to be his initiative, but a passive body function. Is excited. Thinking of the pregnant tiger and leopard rider before, he suddenly became alert. He wants others to get pregnant, but he doesn't want to get pregnant himself. Turn around hard. Swish. The body instantly made a piercing sound. Boom. The graceful figure condensed from countless magic embryos was instantly thrown into the air. With Su Shu's erect body, it's not something ordinary strength can stop. The numerous god-killing teams below instantly widened their eyes. How is this possible? Is he so capable in that area? It was thrown away by him. This passive feeling made Su Shu very upset. He suppressed the evil fire and rose into the air. After suppressing it for a long time, I found that this anger could not be suppressed at all. It's so weird. With the help of the divinity of the divine body beside him, Su Shu managed to let the flame in his chest subside a little bit. This ability is too weird. Su Shu sighed secretly in his heart. It can actually mobilize the most fundamental reproductive desire of human beings. If women are tricked, wouldn't it be? In midair, Su Shu's agitation hadn't subsided yet, so he started to fight with the body of the god attendant in a daze. The blood is rushing, making his physical strength stronger. The magic knife and the golden giant blade made a thunderous sound in the sky. War, war, war. The flames in Su Shu's body made his eyes bloodshot. Even though his combat power was 1 star lower than that of the body of the god servant, his fighting will was raised to the highest level at this moment. Let the body of the god servant be unable to resist for a while. The back mountain of Qingfangjai. Linger felt Su Shu's heroic posture through the body of a god attendant, and couldn't help but widen her eyes. Young master, you are really strong. The scene where Su Shu couldn't suppress the evil fire also fell into the eyes of everyone below. Many male candidates could not help but compare subconsciously. Totally shocked. Wow, why is he so fierce? This can all be wrapped around your waist. Is this serious? They all felt a sense of inferiority from the bottom of their hearts. Many female candidates also saw a touch of blush on their cheeks, and they also secretly compared them. I can't imagine what an experience it will be. Biling Miao was so startled that her whole body went limp, and she swallowed a mouthful of saliva. I never expected that Su Shu would be so talented. At this time, Su Shu, who was fighting in the sky, also noticed everyone's gaze. There is something strange in my heart. Isn't strength such a thing that everyone can wear around their waists? What's so strange? It was not easy for Su Shu to calm down the restless strange force in his heart. It was only through fighting with the body of the god attendant that he was contaminated with divinity that he recovered. However, the black phantom who was just blown away by Su Shu's stick did not let Su Shu go. Filled with head-swelling ravings and the most primitive idea of reproduction, they continued to rush towards Su Shu. Su Shu had tasted how powerful this thing was, but he didn't want to experience it again. Immediately, the magic knife turned into an extremely long bamboo pole, vigorously stirred the black phantom, and swung it back fiercely. Without noticing, another deep scar was left on the shoulder by the body of the servant of the gods. Seeing this, Caesar immediately yelled, "He's injured, hurry up." Swish. The black phantom condensed again, sprinting towards Su Shu without leaving. Although this weird talent is not very useful for large-scale battles, it works best when you want to target someone. Su Shu's face became slightly serious. It seems that I must use 70% of my strength. The next moment, Su Shu slammed the magic knife in his hand into the ground. The muscles all over his body exploded, gathered into a strong to the extreme ancient ferocious beast breath. The body suddenly turned into a strange beast with the body of a bull and the head of a dragon. The strength of the whole body suddenly increased by 50%. A loud roar that resembled a dragon and a cow erupted. Roar. Regardless of the entanglement of the black phantom, After transforming into the body of the gluttonous blood, Su Shu's total resistance increased by 10%. Just before the Black Phantom was activated, he had already rushed in front of the sea-level god-killing team, opened his huge mouth without saying a word, and bit down hard. A Caucasian woman's head was torn off by Su Shu in one bite and chewed to pieces. Gluttony, a ferocious beast, is good at eating people. After the Caucasian woman died, the Black Phantom entwining Su Shu also instantly dimmed a bit. The others immediately prepared to flee in stealth. However, the next moment was immediately found out by Tan Yan's mobilization of the clean land. When Su Shu went up, he killed several people with 3 or 2 bites. Every time someone is killed, notifications sounded in Su Shu's ears. You have killed the chosen one in the trial, acquired attributes, acquired skills, acquired equipment. Su Shu found that everything on them would be rewarded to herself. And their corpses can decompose themselves again. Double rewards. Su Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. I didn't expect this lore trial to have such benefits. Doesn't that mean that I can get 2 copies of the deceitful materials on these people? Cool. The remaining few people fled towards the large army immediately. Su Shu didn't chase and kill, but rushed towards the large army of aliens. He is going to kill. Isn't the essence of the killing field just killing? Only by killing 100 chosen people of different races can he activate the vocation of killing he just obtained. When Caesar and many other races were seen by everyone, their eyes were about to split open, and their expressions were terrified to the extreme. Who would have thought? A sea-level god-killing team. He didn't even last 10 minutes in front of Su Shu. The weird and mysterious talent only put him in a momentary crisis. The golden body of the god attendant did not let Su Shu go, and followed Su Shu's figure to catch up. But Su Shu ignored her, relying on his powerful attributes to suppress, and began to frantically kill the chosen ones of other races. One knife, one child. At this time, the magic knife Chinran also turned into a pair of black blade wings, which were blessed on Teoti's body, making Su Shu's speed go even further. Kill, kill, kill. The influence of that mysterious talent on Su Shu still remains. However, under the blessing of the power of the blood, Su Shu turned this desire for reproduction into a killing intent. Swish. A chosen one of a foreign race was bitten to pieces by Su Shu. Another selected person from another race was bitten into 2 by Su Shu. This bloody scene caused all the chosen aliens in the battlefield to fall into great panic. Even if they have received a lot of blessings, there is also Caesar's sea-level talent. But throwing all the skills and talents on Su Shu seemed to have the effect. Su Shu's attributes are much higher than theirs, and the blood support has the effect of increasing resistance by 10%, making him almost like no one's land. This is the first time that Su Shu has transformed into Teoti's real body. It just feels like every kill of a chosen one. Especially the chosen ones of the earth and gods, their own bloodlines can become a little bit stronger. There was also a system notification sound next to my ear. Your blood concentration has increased slightly. Your blood concentration has increased slightly. ... Su Shu couldn't help guessing in his heart. The chosen one's talent also seems to be a very complicated force. Even bloodlines can be promoted through it. What excites him even more is talent. Caesar gathered together a group of alien candidates with the strongest talent in the novice village and sent them to his mouth. Quote, ... You get the god-type talent. ... You get an earth talent. Quote, ... You got human talent. ... Su Shu reckoned that after killing all these 100 aliens and winning the lore trial, he might be able to challenge all sea-level talents. Be as vigorous as possible. After entering the novice middle district, you will definitely be able to give other novice village candidates a big surprise. Base. A ray of golden light pierced through Su Shu's back, only a few millimeters away from his shoulder. Su Shu turned around. The body of the divine attendant still attacked him relentlessly. As long as he is still within range, he will be hunted down endlessly. Su Shu took one look, then turned his head away, and continued killing the chosen ones of other races. Ignore you for now, wait until Daddy's vocation is obtained. I must let you, a god servant, taste the power of my 18 martial arts. Su Shu did not forget. The killing angel certificate that I obtained, the attached skill is called Heaven's Punishment. As long as you face an opponent stronger than yourself, you can activate it. All attributes are improved, and the combat power is doubled, which is simply a bounden duty born for leapfrog challenges. Activate this vocation first, and it will be easier to kill the legendary boss of this partition. The aliens below were completely insane. In the wilderness, more than 100 foreign chosen ones tried their best to hide Su Shu and Zhao Yun. At the same time, I was extremely depressed. Why? Obviously this raid was seamless. He should die here. We still misjudged his strength. Help! A blonde woman, the chosen one, was running in the wilderness, but was grabbed by the neck by the peyote that flashed in the void. Swish! Head. Separate. The beauty's head fell, and the blood sprayed several feet high, just in time to splash on the faces of several Earth-type chosen ones who were secretly hiding in the ground. These Earth-type candidates were suddenly as frightened as a bird. Where's Caesar? He is the leader of our novice village. Where did he go? How could I know? At this time, Caesar had long since lost his arrogance, and hid in a mountain depression with the man from the Sakura kingdom in horror. No matter how they hide, Su Shu can always quickly find where the two are. Su Shu didn't intend to let go of these two sea-level talents, and let Wonkai go all out to track them down. If the man from the Sakura country hadn't used his teleportation ability to escape again and again, these people would have been killed by Su Shu long ago. What should we do now? Mr. Caesar. The man from the Sakura kingdom shivered. This Su Shu, who is like the incarnation of a prehistoric beast, made him deeply feel what it means to be irresistible. Before, I thought in my heart that another big summer would fall into my hands. Now it seems that I have kicked the real iron plate. The selectees from other races beside him are all C-level and D-level talents, the essence of the essence, and they are also looking at Caesar in fear at this time. Caesar forcibly raised his breath for several people. Don't be afraid, wait a few more minutes and use the props to teleport out. As long as we are alive, we still have a chance. It's just that we weren't ready this time. Wow. Just when his voice just fell. Boom. A thunderbolt suddenly fell from the sky. The mountain col where several people were hiding was split into a large piece of broken soil. Group armor. An Earth level chosen from the Earth system roared and quickly activated talent. Everyone had an extra layer of mental energy armor, which prevented them from being crushed to death by the rocks. Su Shu looked at them like a curious child digging through an ant hole. So it's hiding here, so I can find it for a while. After saying that, he fell in front of several people. Click. He took a prefecture-level candidate in one bite, and broke his neck like eating snacks. At this moment, Su Shu is as terrifying as a real beast. The man in Sakura country was sweating profusely, and said with a wry smile, "Mr. Caesar, it seems that we can't wait for that time. If we want to use props to get rid of the Lord trial, we have to wait at least half an hour after the trial begins." Caesar was stunned, gritted his teeth, but took out another props. A bloody giant blade. Raising the giant blade, he suddenly slashed down on many of the chosen ones from the Sakura kingdom around him. Swish. More than a dozen men from the Cherry Blossom country died with nothing to rest in peace. After absorbing the flesh and blood of more than a dozen candidates from the Sakura kingdom, the giant blade swelled and became bigger, and gradually merged with Caesar. Caesar's strength has also been upgraded from 7 stars to 10 stars in a short period of time. Many of the selected people next to him immediately showed expressions of horror. Blade of Betrayal. I heard that as long as this item kills a certain number of chosen ones from the same faction as me, it will provide the user with powerful combat power for a short period of time. Caesar actually slaughtered his own people and used this item. Is this what power feels like? Caesar's blonde hair fluttered around, and he felt the power surging all over his body, showing a look of excitement. He looked at Su Shu in front of him with confidence. The tone is cold. Your death is doomed. The words rose to the sky. The body fused with the blood-colored giant blade rapidly swelled, turning into a 10-meter tall giant. Instead, it made Su Shu look very small. On the side, many of the candidates from the Sakura kingdom showed expressions of grief and indignation. The ones who were killed just now were their own compatriots. Shouted to the leading man, "Why did you kill the people from the Sakura kingdom? Can we be sacrificed in vain by them as allies?" The leading man from the Sakura kingdom also had an ugly expression on his face, but he quickly stomped his feet. My lords. The great eagle kingdom is like a father country to us. Father wants us to die, can we not die? Su Shu in the sky couldn't help rolling his eyes when he heard this sentence. The many great Shah candidates who came chasing up from the side also didn't know whether to laugh or cry. TMD has seen a filial son, but not this kind of filial son. It's so filial to me. A big filial piety. Return to a father-like country, and the people of Sakura country really don't recognize their father. They can find excuses to comfort themselves when their own people are killed. It's true. This operation of the people of Sakura made the selected candidates of Daxia deeply understand what a loyal dog is. Facing the group ridicule from the chosen ones in Daxia, Caesar's face was also very ugly. After all, turning around and slaughtering his allies is disgraceful anywhere, so he can only focus on Su Shu. He shouted coldly, "Today you have to die, and pay for my allies." "Oh, really?" Su Shu's voice came from the sky, slightly teasing. Said something that Caesar couldn't understand. "Brother Yunlong, you really can always give me some new tricks." Ha 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 ha. When the selected candidates of Daxia heard this, they finally couldn't help it and laughed wildly. I didn't expect the boss to play tricks. Ha ha ha. This kind of strength that is enhanced by props is still trying to compare with the boss, thinking that it can be on an equal footing with our boss Su Shu. Fool. Swish. Caesar rushed towards Su Shu furiously. However, he didn't even meet Su Shu's shadow. Judging from Su Shu's experience of killing the top 3 heads up, Caesar's 10-star combat power should be the weakest 10-star he has ever seen. Flopped a few times. Su Shu felt bored, too weak to be worth my time. He waved his hand and suppressed Caesar fiercely. Boom! A giant claw firmly suppressed Caesar, who was doing his best in the sky. The giant roars under the claws of the behemoth. Caesar's eyes showed extreme fear. "No, I am." Snapped. Su Shu showed no mercy at all. With a little force, Caesar was crushed into a ball of meat like an ant. A sound of notification suddenly came from Su Shu's ear. You get spoils of war. Strength +3, C-level props, Breaker Orb D-level props, Exploring Eye E-level props, Strength Enhancement E-level props, Book of Magic Power, Skills, Equipment. After the reminder sound like swiping the screen came, Su Shu's heart suddenly became ecstatic. There are so many props. His secret treasure bar was full immediately. These props do not belong to Caesar alone. In addition to exchanging killing points for items obtained in the killing field, they can only be obtained by chance. Some Caesars were gifted by the superiors before they descended on the killing field, and some were collected by several selected candidates from the trial grounds and gathered in his hands. But now, due to the rules of the Lord Trial, all these props belong to me. Su Shu couldn't help but feel ecstatic. Killing the head of a novice village is really beneficial. Props are harder to get than equipment. He couldn't help turning his eyes to Lin Jia, who was at the side. Do not know. Lin Jia, who is also the head of Daxia Novice Village, how many good things do he have? This look immediately made Lin Jia shudder all over. Then Su Shu looked away. As for the second half of Caesar's last sentence, Su Shu didn't care at all. So what if there is a strong person behind him? Anyway, all the aliens. Everyone is their own enemy. Recalling old man Chen's injuries all over his body, it was caused by a surprise attack at the last moment by the chosen ones of the foreign race. There are still many candidates from Daxia who have experienced the same experience as old man Chen. Su Shu hated for a long time and his teeth itch. It is clear that the coming of the killing field is a good opportunity for the common improvement of the human beings all over the world, but other major countries have spawned so many camps and intrigues against Great Shah for their own selfish desires. If not for this, with old man Chen's injury alone, Su Shu secretly vowed in his heart that he would kill all the chosen ones from other races. Get back the justice that came against Daxia several times before. Mr. Caesar, dead. All the selected foreign races froze in place, looking at Caesar, who had been crushed into a ball of flesh, with unbelievable expressions in their eyes. This is Mr. Caesar, who they regard as a god. In front of Su Shu, he didn't survive a single move. Isn't it 10-star combat power? Why is there such a big difference? Caesar is not only the head of this novice village, but also the heir to the family of the mighty god of the eagle. He died here just like that, silently. The eyes of the selected foreign races looked at Su Shu, except for horror or panic, without any previous arrogance. Zhao Yun, clean them up. Su Shu didn't bother to do anything anymore, and directly waved his hand to call Zhao Yun. As for the chosen ones who came in to help Su Shu, this time they were purely like the ones who came in for a tour, and they didn't even have the chance to participate in the battle. Su Shu killed 100 enemies by himself, just like killing chickens. Swish. After Zhao Yunqing wiped out some of the remaining chosen ones, he quickly rushed over with a large group of people and wiped out the rest of the chosen ones. However, Su Shu was keenly aware of it. The man headed by the Sakura kingdom turned into a white light and disappeared at the edge of the red boundary at some point, escaping the killing trial. But he didn't care. As long as you are still in the novice village, you will die sooner or later. Quote. You got a skill, an item. Quote. You got skills, equipment. Quote. You got skills, equipment, attribute points. Following Zhao Yun's killing, bursts of reminders swiping the screen rang in Su Shu's ears. Su Shu returned to the state of picking up experience for nothing. Alas, life is really lonely like snow. As Su Shu kills, more and more points are displayed under Su Shu's name on the battlefield. Every time a chosen one is killed, Su Shu gets a little more points. This is the point of the lore trial. Until all the chosen ones from other races were killed by Su Shu. The battlefield notification sound came. One camp was killed. Kill, this lore trial is over. Quote, the points ranking is being announced. First place Su Shu, 100 points. Second place, 0 points. Third place, 0 points. Fourth place, 0 points. Fifth place, 0 points. Quote. A row of 0, only Su Shu got all the points. The battlefield prompt sounded immediately. Settlement completed. The chosen one, Su Shu, who won the lore trial, will be rewarded with +50 kill value. The many selected candidates from Great Sha couldn't help showing envious expressions. How could these foreign chosen ones arrange a killing game against Su Shu? It's like giving Su Shu some benefits. It was only level 10, but Su Shu went through a trial of lore, and got the full reward alone. 50 killing points. Where to find such a good thing? You must know that the lore trial is generally used for the chosen ones who are evenly matched in the killing field. But this time it was obvious that Caesar wanted to trick Su Shu and let him fight against 100. Result: seriously misjudged Su Shu's strength. Su Shu waited for Zhao Yun to finish killing, and then leisurely went to various places on the battlefield to dismantle the corpses of the chosen ones of different races. That's cool. As for the body of the god attendant, it was Su Shu who was still reluctant to give up. But it seems that she doesn't have much wisdom, just blindly chasing and killing. If Su Shu wanted to escape, he could easily avoid fighting her head-on. Such a strong boss is already beyond the mark. If he is still extremely smart, no one can complete the legendary mission in this division. Killing Fields does not issue such quests. Ding. And a system notification sound came from Su Shu's ear. Has killed 100 chosen people of different races, killing the vocation, Heaven's Punishment Practitioner, has been activated. Swish. Su Shu only saw a line of small characters next to his name in the attribute column, which reads, Practitioner. At the same time, a little black swirl-like ink stains appeared between his brows, only the size of a grain of rice. If you don't look carefully, you can't see it at all. That vortex was like a black hole, absorbing energy from the surroundings all the time, adding a mysterious aura to Su Shu's whole being. Great, the vocation is finally activated. Su Shu was overjoyed when he looked at the corpses of the chosen ones from other races all over the floor. Someone came to deliver a pillow when I was dozing off. The next moment, he ascended into the sky. His complexion gradually became cold, and he faced the body of the 11-star combat power head-on. The body also gradually returned to the human form from the gluttonous state. This novice village's legendary mission should be completed. All the selected candidates in the Great Sha couldn't help being shocked when they heard the young man's voice. Baikyu Library. Finished. Could it be that they have only entered the killing field for such a short time? Novice village is going to be broken like this. Thanks to the good environment that Su Shu created for other great summer candidates, many great summer candidates have already broken through level 10. There were even 11 and 12 ranks on the leaderboard. But what do grades tell? All eyes were only on Su Shu. Ding! God's punishment status judgment activated. The moment the vortex between Su Shu's eyebrows faced the attack of the body of the god servant, the speed of the whirlpool suddenly accelerated by hundreds of times. The power of Wan Dao He made Su Shu's eyes become pure black. There was an aura of punishment on behalf of the heavens all over his body. In the eyes of all, I just feel that the boy is a bit like a god in a TV series, and he feels inexplicably majestic. Su Shu's strength also increased greatly. Turning the magic knife back to its original state, it slashed at the body of the god attendant fiercely. The god attendant's body was still condensed into a giant golden blade, but this time Su Shu's strength could not be reduced by a single bit, and was cut off on the spot by Su Shu's knife. But Su Shu's fighting spirit is high at this time. One knife after another did not give the body of the god servant any chance to fight back. In a few moments, the body of the god servant was forced into the dilapidated cottage. Now the lore trial is gone. The tens of thousands of bandits outside also clearly saw the scene of Su Shu fighting the body of the god servant. Chi-Chi couldn't help being shocked. This destiny must be a god. Only by controlling the power of the gods can we compete with the master. No, this boy is simply stronger than the head. What kind of existence is he? Back mountain. Ling was also dumbfounded when she saw this scene. In a short period of time, the sun's strength has improved again. What happened in that red light just now? Swish. Without a moment's hesitation, Su Shu chopped off the right arm of the servant's body. There is not even a trace of blood in the body of the servant of the gods, and it is broken like metal. Another knife. A huge scar was left on the body of the god attendant. In the dark, seeing this scene, Ling couldn't help but look expectant. That's great, my son is really can suppress the body of this god servant. Quote. The concubine did not misunderstand the young master, the concubine is saved. It didn't take long for Su Shu to dismantle the body of the god attendant. However, even though it was cut into pieces, the body of the god servant was still wriggling. Su Shu was stunned. Why is the smell so strong? Isn't it God? Swish. The magic knife was scattered into blades, and then disassembled the body of the god servant who had been dismantled into pieces. The body of the god attendant collapsed suddenly, turning into a puddle of golden juice. It looks sticky, with bubbles, and emits bursts of weird breath. Can't go wrong. Su Shu immediately confirmed it in his heart. The body of this god attendant is a kind of deceitful material. What's going on here? Why is this thing facing Ling face? Su Shu couldn't help feeling puzzled. I just feel that there are still some deep secrets in the killing field. At the same time, there was also a loud broadcast sound in everyone's ears. The Chosen One, Anonymous, has completed the Novice Village Legendary Mission, and is issuing legendary rewards. The Novice Village's legendary mission was completed ahead of schedule, and all those selected in number 075 Novice Village will get 15 days to prepare. After 15 days, the Novice Middle Zone will be opened. The Novice Middle Area task is announced in advance: build a city. Task content. Each selected person can use different means to establish their own base. The task deadline ends in the first stage of the Novice Middle Area. After the task ends, the building will be evaluated according to the ranking of the results. Reminder: the base area has multiple functions such as training, building, exercising, breeding, etc. It is extremely important to the selected, and it can be carried with you. It is the strongest part of the selected. Each selected has one and only one chance to establish base area, please treat it with caution. Reminder: after all the Chosen Ones have completed the Novice Village mission, the surviving Chosen Ones will start a 3-day return. After the prompt sound came, there was a roar of excitement like a tsunami. All the Chosen Ones shouted with extreme excitement. I will thank you, sir. I will thank you, sir. Boss Su Shu is so handsome, he even finished the Novice Village Legendary Mission 15 days ahead of schedule. Doesn't that mean that our Novice Village is better than other? The Novice Village has an extra 15 days of preparation time. Quote. In these 15 days, we can establish our own base in advance, step by step, step by step. Yes, these 15 days will definitely make our novice village a big step faster than other novice villages. And we only need to wait for other novice villages to complete their missions, and then we can return for 3 days. Yes, after the novice village mission is completed, there is one of the few holidays in the killing field. It means that at least we all survived. Thank you, Mr. Su Shu. And those who stand out in this return will definitely be vigorously cultivated by our high-ranking gods in Daxia. Su Shu was also a little shocked when he heard the hustle and bustle of the outside world. The first task of the novice middle district turned out to be to establish an own base. You can take it anywhere. Each selected person has only one chance to build this time. And what he didn't even expect. There is still a holiday in the killing field. After completing the novice village mission, there will be 3 days of vacation. This point was not announced on Blue Star. After all, only a few people could survive the novice village mission. Su Shu couldn't help but feel joy from the bottom of his heart. Originally, I thought that I would have the chance to go back after breaking through the novice area and becoming a god, but now I see that there is a chance to go back before becoming a god. Going back this time, Old Man Chen saw how happy he would be when he saw such a result. Maybe I can still get the resources to let Old Man Chen get treatment. Great. At this time, the battlefield notification sound also rang in Su Shu's ears. The Novice Village Legendary Level Reward is being distributed to you. Please choose 1. A Novice Village Legendary Reward. 2. 3 Novice Village Blueprints for Legendary Items. Sure enough, this is still the choice, drawings or real objects. Hear this. Su Shu's heart suddenly became excited. The last time the Proving Ground rewarded the legendary level, it rewarded Zhao Yun blueprints and Magic Knife Thousand Blade blueprints, which widened the huge gap between his combat power and others. This time the blueprint for the Novice Village level legendary level reward. I don't know how strong it will be. Same. If you choose blueprints, it will be more difficult to collect. After all, none of this level of items is easy to synthesize. Su Shu didn't think too much. I choose 2. 3 Novice Village Legendary Blueprints. A Legendary City Blueprint Good Fortune Boat Fragment. 2 Legendary Architectural Blueprint Dragon Incubation Pool. 3 Legendary Architectural Blueprint Angel Reincarnation Pool. 3 volumes of blueprints shining with golden light fell into Su Shu's hands. Just based on the properties of these blueprints, it looks much stronger than last time. Even if they are both legendary blueprints, the Novice Village rewards and Proving Ground rewards are different. Just after the rewards for Su Shu had just been distributed. Boom! Everyone heard a loud bang. Look up and look into the distance. At the border of Qiantang County, the red restricted zone that was originally demarcated still exists at this time, but it has become a transparent barrier. After 15 days, this barrier will open. At that time, the Novice Middle area will open. All the chosen ones were filled with excitement. Only Lin Jia and the others looked at the other Proving Grounds. There was a cold smile on his face. Let's go, there are bosses here, this Novice Village is ours. Lin Jia said first. Tan Yan nodded. That's right, the boss doesn't have time to deal with those small miscellaneous fish, it seems that he plans to leave it to us. A few people took some of the Great Shah's chosen ones and went to those alien trials. There is only one purpose. Kill it clean. Now in the Novice Village, except for the chosen ones of the Great Shah, all the elites of the chosen ones of other races were killed. There are only some miscellaneous fish below E-level talent left. It is certainly impossible for these people to be let go. In other words, if the other novice villages are powerful, the candidates from the Great Shah will suffer the same fate. Killing fields, that's it, the weak are prey to the strong. At the same time, the battlefield notification sound came again. The drawing of the map paper is about to start, everyone only has one chance. This will be the second chance for the chosen ones to change their destiny, please seize it. As soon as this sentence came, the many candidates who had been waiting for this moment for a long time suddenly showed excitement. Sure enough, it's time to start extracting the base map paper. Although the school may not tell you all the details of the killing field, but after completing the Novice Village mission, the basis map will be drawn, that's for sure. This is also the second chance to change fate after drawing talent. Although according to the map paper, it is not as powerful as talent. But if you survive until now and successfully draw the high-rank blueprint, in the end, it is not an example of a successful counterattack. Quote, after all, even if the strength is not strong enough, if you have a high-rank base, you can reach the late stage and turn the base into a kingdom of God, and you will also have the opportunity to become a god. The premise is that you can live until the end of the novice village. The voices of the crowd immediately made the battlefield noisy. This novice village originally had at least 1,000 candidates. After going through layers of screening, most of the people died under the premise that Su Shuchao completed the legendary task ahead of schedule. There are only 400 left alive. Excluding the chosen ones of other races, there are only 200 or 300 people left alive. Just in the novice village, only 1/5 of the people survived. One can imagine, other novice villages will only be more cruel. It's normal for a village to have only a dozen people survive in the end. Because they don't have Su Shu. Everyone is looking forward to it. Soon, the radiance sprinkled in the void, and everyone's head was cast by a ray of light. Now that there are layers of screening, those who can survive are somewhat old. No one will easily explode the level of the paper they have drawn based on the map. But the public screen is still maxed out, but they are all anonymous. Anonymous. I didn't expect that there are so many kinds of changes according to the map paper. Anonymous. I have extracted the B-level blueprint of the Ghost King Hall, which can produce ghost-type arms. Anonymous. Haha, I didn't expect that. I extracted the A-level blueprint of Tianyan Mountain, which can produce cultivators. Anonymous. I know that someone has drawn an S-level blueprint, but I won't say it, hehe. Anonymous. Hey, how do you know? Anonymous. Don't worry about it, it must be the most important thing to save your life. The chosen ones who survived all showed expressions of frustration or ecstasy. Some people got the chance to change their destiny through this base drawing. And some people are still spicy chicken. Congratulations on drawing the E-level basis map paper, Shanshan Village. Su Shu also heard a system notification tone. A mysterious smile appeared on his face, and he let out a low sigh. E-class. Sure enough, I am not always lucky. A garbage blueprint was extracted, only E-level. Shanshan Village E-level based on map paper. Need. Wood 1000, stone 1000, water source 1, sea level source fire 1. Exclamation mark. All the raw materials required by the map paper are the same, even the SSS level drawings only need these basic materials. This is the battlefield for the sake of fairness. Otherwise, some people have extracted high-rank blueprints but don't have the strength to create them, and that will change the fate of the ass. Su Shu didn't think much about it. He set his sights on the 3 legendary reward blueprints this time. First, the first legendary city drawing was opened. Fragment of the ship from the other shore 100,000 over 1. Requirements. A-level Martial Dao Crystal, A-level Source Fire 1, 13 mysterious materials with different attributes, SSS level unlimited decomposition and synthesis of talent. Introduction. One of the kings of the 6 great artifacts in World 385, the 1,000-star powerhouse Good Fortune Taoist once relied on the boat of good fortune to kill countless powerhouses. The formation is broken, and it is no longer at its peak. The pinnacle of the road, Good Fortune is king. Good Fortune ship. It turned out to be this boat of good fortune. Su Shu's mouth gradually widened, and his pupils began to focus. He stared at the blueprint with both eyes. The annoyance of extracting the E-level basis map paper has long been forgotten by him. The boat of good fortune. This is the boat of good fortune. The king of the first artifact in the ancient times of the Yangshan world, the magical item of the Yangshan above time and space. The Good Fortune Taoist once relied on the Good Fortune boat to contend against the Panwang and the Longevity Great Emperor, to kill the ancient demon god, to kill the Yang god, and to dominate an era. Wherever he went, besides surrender, he still surrendered. Su Shu dared to say, it is difficult for even ordinary gods to compete with the boat of good fortune. The boat crashed down. Don't talk about planets, a world may be destroyed. Is this something I can get in the novice village stage? Su Shu was dumbfounded. After this thing is born, I can use it to slaughter gods. It wasn't until he saw the line of small characters behind that he understood. 1/100,000. 1 in 100,000. This is only a 100,000th fragment of the good fortune ship. But even if it only has 100,000th of the power of the good fortune boat. This is the number 1 artifact king in the ancient times, and this thing can definitely make him run rampant in the novice zone. At most, the other candidates will draw a holy mountain, an attic, a ghost town. And I am the king of artifacts, a fragment of the ship of good fortune. Chapter 51. But these materials. After Su Shu saw the materials needed to synthesize the boat of good fortune. Can't help but frown. A-level source fire, A-level martial Dao crystallization, and mysterious materials that he had never seen before. Baiku Library. Synthesis is too difficult. I don't know if it's the year of the monkey to synthesize it myself. Su Shu pondered for a moment. It was decided to put the E-level base map paper that was just drawn together with this legendary good fortune ship fragment blueprint. Synthesize a wave first. Synthesis. The battlefield prompt sounded immediately. Would you like to merge the blueprint of the ship of good fortune into the map paper of the base of life? Yes. Su Shu didn't hesitate for a moment. Starting with the boat of good fortune as the natal base, I don't know how powerful it will be. Even fragments. The two blueprints slowly merged together. After a while, a notification sound came. You have obtained the SSS level legendary natal basis map paper good fortune boat fragment 2/100,000th. Really? Su Shu was ecstatic in his heart. The SSS level life is based on the map paper. And it has become 2/100,000th. Doesn't that mean taking other people's blueprints and merging them by myself can also make the boat of good fortune more complete? Thinking of this, Su Shu couldn't help looking at the corpses of Caesar and the others with regret in his eyes. If only we had known sooner. Kill these people later, let them draw a wave of blueprints before killing, make the best use of everything. What made Su Shu even more ecstatic was that the materials needed for this boat of good fortune blueprint have been turned into lumber 100,000, stone 100,000, water source 100, B-level fire source 1. After becoming own natal drawings, limited to the rules of the battlefield. The materials needed to synthesize the boat of good fortune have also become common materials. Synthesis difficulty is greatly reduced. Cool. Su Shu was overjoyed. Unlimited decomposition and synthesis of talent is so easy to use. This is equivalent to being stuck with a bug. But the chance is only this time. After all, each selected person only has one chance to draw the natal blueprint. Now Su Shu is not in a hurry. If it is these ordinary materials, even if the quantity is ridiculously high, he can pass. Collect them by buying and digging. AB level source fire is not that difficult for Su Shu now. Compared with before, it is simply cool. Immediately afterwards, Su Shu set his sights on the second legendary drawing. Legendary architectural blueprint dragon incubation pool. Requirements. A-level beast source fire, 3 drops of epic level beast blood, 5 tons of ashes of ferocious beasts. Introduction. A magical building that can give birth to dragons, and can cultivate different dragons by itself. It starts with 1 star and can continue to grow. The future belongs to all dragons. It can hatch dragons. Su Shu felt joy again. All the troops under him can become dragon knights in the future. Zhao Yun can control the dragon and ascend to heaven. It's on. This is simply domineering in the battle with other chosen bases. He quickly set his sights on the third drawing. Legendary architectural blueprint angel reincarnation pool. Requirements. B-level divine talent crystal 1, 15 divine materials, and 1000 soulless female bodies. Introduction. A magical building that can give birth to angels. It can cultivate different angels by itself. It starts with 1 star and can grow continuously. My father, your command is my direction. Another powerful unit in the future. Su Shu pondered. A female body without a soul, isn't that dead? He turned his head and cast his eyes on the battlefield. Of course, many of the bandits were women. There were a total of 10,000 bandits, and a few hundred female bandits were enough for him to collect a lot of female corpses. Of course there are many dead female chosen bodies. Su Shu hasn't forgotten that he still has a blueprint for a witch. Now the materials are just enough. He couldn't help turning his eyes to those female mountain thieves. There are also many talent crystals in hand, and it's time to merge them. No further words. Su Shu started immediately, fusing his own talent crystal. After a while, all his talents were promoted to C level. Level D, Hot Blood, is promoted to Level C, Earth Body Constitution plus 25%, consumes 1 point of mental energy per second after opening. As long as it touches the earth, it can recover 20% of physical damage per second. Harmful. Quote, Level D, Strength of Arms Enhanced, is promoted to Level C, Cracking Mountains and Cracking Rocks, Physical Strength plus 25%. After opening, the upper limit of physical strength will increase by 25%. D level, Wind and Thunder Change, is promoted to C level, Heaven and Earth Change, Strength plus 20%. After opening, random earthquakes and natural disasters will occur within 500 meters of the body. D level, Fire Control, is promoted to C level, Magma, Power plus 20%. After opening, you can summon magma, causing group damage. D level, Flash, is promoted to C level, Flash, Dexterity plus 20%. Random flicker within 3000 meters, no cooling time, can break through terrain, but cannot break through enchantment, energy. D level, Complete Madness, is promoted to C level, Disorder. After opening, it will force people with the same strength within 500 meters to panic. Pen Fun Library. Level C, Random Prediction, now reduce the upper limit of mental energy to 30%. Call. Su Shu let out a breath. The body of the earth directly makes him almost undead. As long as he is close to the earth, his injuries can be repaired. Cracking mountains and cracking rocks even forcibly raise the upper limit of physical fitness. Combined use of Tiondibian and Magma, the two Pantheon talents, Su Shu is almost equal to a team of Scourge. The flicker turned into a flash, and the range became 3000 meters, and only then did it feel like teleportation. Completely Crazy is even more perverted, and now directly force the other party to panic. Own Strength, Soaring. Su Shu's heart blossomed with joy. It's a pity that it was randomly predicted that this talent has not been promoted to level B, so I still dare not use it now. He didn't look at the attribute bar, but first took out a large pile of deceitful materials that he had just dismantled. He also decomposed the golden liquid that was turned into the puddle of God's servant's body on the ground. Obtained Moon God Saliva, B-level conspiracy material. Sure enough, it's a trick material, the saliva of the Moon God. Su Shu felt a bit chilly. I took a small bottle and packed these cunning materials. Then he decomposed his trick talent. It was placed together with the deceitful materials in the bodies of the two god-killing teams. My cunning talent is about to be promoted. Su Shu waited for the middle stage and used synthesis. Ding! Your cunning talent has been promoted. Mind Stealer, F-level deceitful talent. Effect 1, Dream Thief, all resistance plus 20%, steal the fear in others' hearts, and create the same dream. Effect 2, Mind Stealer, 20% chance to steal other people's thoughts, each time consumes 20 mental energy points. Baikyu Library. Note: the stronger the opponent's defense, the stronger the strength, the easier it is to be defeated. The more people use it, the greater the consumption of mental energy, and the effect on beasts, ghosts, and gods is halved. Promoted to F rank. Su Shu was ecstatic in his heart. He finally obtained an F-level trick talent. Thinking of the strength of those F-level god-killing teams on the battlefield before, resurrecting the dead and impregnating the enemy. You must know that the opponent is a team, and you are the real F-level talent. I don't know how strong it will be. The effect of the deceitful talent is not a replacement, but superimposed. The effect of the Dream Thief is still there. Is the stealer stealing other people's ideas? Su Shu was thoughtful. Sounds like it's not as powerful as Dream Thief. Just try it. He still called Biling Meow. Xiao Bai, come here. Biling Meow trotted over immediately, and the school beauty ran up. A pair of prematurely developed waves on her chest were very turbulent. What's wrong, Su Shu? Su Shu calmly stretched out Lucian's claws to her, and touched many places that male students wanted to touch but dared not. Well, don't think too much, it's the face. Su Shu's expression was very calm, he just wanted to stimulate the other party. You. Biling Meow's face turned red immediately. She didn't expect Su Shu to do such a thing suddenly on the battlefield. Steal. Su Shu waved his hand in front of her eyes, but a word came from his ear. Mind stealing failed. 20% chance of success. Seeing that Xiaobai's face was full of shyness, Su Shu's whole body softened, and if he didn't think so, he would make a promise on the spot, and his virginity would be lost. Feeling panicked, I quickly used stealing 5 times in a row. Twice it worked. Bai Ling Miao's face turned confused again. Why Su Shu? Why don't you speak? It seems that nothing happened just now. Happened the same. Her mind was stolen. Together with everything that just happened, the emotions generated have been stolen. Su Shu was ecstatic in his heart. Although stealing Xiaobai directly cost him 100 points of mental energy. But it's too strong. In the future, when others fight with me, suddenly their expressions are indifferent, and there is no hostility at all. This mind stealer is really weird. Ahem, it's nothing, go and help me pick out the female bandits from the bandits. Su Shu pointed to the 10,000 surrendered bandits and said. Female bandit, okay. Bai Ling Miao didn't think too much, and went directly to the group of bandits and began to choose female bandits. Su Shu is in a good mood. This trick talent is used like this, it always feels a little wretched. But not obscene. How can it be called a mysterious talent? He then began to look at the few props seized from Caesar. Sea-level props breaker orb. Introduction. Immediately break through barriers and formation-like environments, and teleport to a distance of 30,000 meters. D-level props exploring eyes. Introduction. You can use a reconnaissance on an enemy whose strength exceeds yours, and obtain the opponent's data except for the selected ones whose talent exceeds yours. E-level props strength enhancement. Introduction. After using it, the strength of you and all friendly forces within a range of 30 by 30 meters around you will increase by 30%. E-level props Book of Magic Power. Introduction. After using it, you and all allies around you within a range of 30 by 30 meters will recover mental energy plus 30%. Okay, these items are definitely not something that people from Novice Village can exchange for. They must be gods from Blue Star. Su Shu's eyes lit up. They are all life-saving and group-fighting weapons. The alien gods of Blue Star issue these to Caesar, and they must hope that the chosen ones of the Big Eagle can occupy this novice village. Now, it's all up to me. He opened the attribute bar casually, and his current data immediately appeared in front of him. Name. Su Shu. Killing occupation. God's Punishment Practitioner, Legendary G level. Closing parenthesis. Level 9, 1230 20,000ths. Power 116, sea level heaven and earth transformation, sea level magma. Agility 126, sea level flash. Physique 123, sea level earthy body, sea level double arm strength enhancement, D level lower body strength enhancement, D level bone hardening, D level core strength enhancement. Mental energy 3,500, sea level disorder, sea level random prediction. Natal talent SSS level infinite decomposition and synthesis. Special talent F level deceitful thief and mind stealer. Skills level 3 heavenly punishment, level 3 knife repair skill, bloodthirsty crazy knife, level 3 warrior skill, everyone for me, level 3 cultivator skill, Zan Zhen Zhen Ju. Killing value 315. Combat rating 12 stars. After that wave of killing just now, did you get to level 9? Su Shu couldn't help but feel shocked when he looked at the own data. At level 9, after this wave of strengthening, talent was promoted. The combat power has reached 12 stars. All attributes are over 110. Other novice villages in the Novice Central District, you can have a good exchange. Su Shu couldn't help thinking about it. The other big eagles are powerful, and the chosen ones of the great Shah who were slaughtered. I am coming. There is a blue sky. At this time. Let us go. Our Sakura Kingdom gods will not let you go. A group of gray-haired and blue-eyed people with gray hair and blue eyes came slowly from the Qingfeng village. Among them were the chosen ones from the Cherry Blossom Kingdom who were yelling ghostly words and full of dissatisfaction. Then Lin Jia escorted these alien candidates to Su Shu. There are 100 people in total. Lin Jia stepped forward and smiled at Su Shu. These guys are really hard to catch. They all hid in the mountains and forests. I used several search tools to find everyone. How do you deal with them? Su Shu glanced at the alien chosen ones. They are all garbage below E-level talent. He stretched out his hand and said, kill all the men, and put the women on my side. What? Lin Jia suddenly looked strange, and Tan Yan and several others beside him also sighed inwardly. It turns out that Su Shu is not a bad womanizer. But like exotic it seems that in the future, we will grab more beauties from other races to present to the boss. Being able to curry favor with big bosses with female, it is possible to reach the top of a god in the future. Is there a more cost-effective deal than this? Swish. Lin Jia and the others raised their knives and dropped them. Killed all the male chosen ones, and sent the corpses to Su Shu. There were also the corpses of the chosen Koreans who were cleared up by Wonkai and the wolves before, and they were also sent over. It's no secret among the chosen ones that boss Su Shu needs a corpse. Su Shu pointed to the corpses of the Koreans again. Give them to me and divide them into male and female. The expressions on the faces of the people were even more strange, but they did as they said. Dozens of female candidates of different races who survived were sent to Su Shu's side, and they immediately looked overjoyed. It seems that I don't have to die. All of them immediately came to Su Shu's side to scratch their heads and pose. There was a big blonde horse with blue eyes, a gentle oriental woman, and a black pearl, etc. There are not many who can become the chosen ones. Lin Jia and the others next to him were full of envy. It's so cool to be a boss. It would be great if one day I can become a big boss. This is the rule in the killing field, and even in the entire Blue Star. The strong, the winners, have it all. But Su Shu didn't even look at these women, and looked up to the side. Biling Miao also just finished picking the female bandits. Come over. Scanned those alien women. She knew what kind of person Su Shu was. How could she bow down to women? The female thieves and the female candidates made up a total of more than 800 people. They all stood in front of Su Shu nervously, like an emperor's concubine selection meeting, but Su Shu's expression was very cold, as if in front of him was not a bunch of beauties posing, but construction materials on the construction site. It's no different from bricks, concrete, and steel bars. Zhao Yun, let's start. He ordered slowly. Zhao Yun, who had been waiting by the side for a long time, led 100 tiger and leopard cavalry, charging from a distance like a tiger joining a flock of sheep. The momentum is shocking. There was a blood mist and screams from the Jin Jie iron horse. Don't kill us. We're willing to do anything. Shock. The audience was shocked. Lin Jia and others were shocked by Su Shu's cruel methods. Pupils dilate. No matter how these delicate alien beauties begged for mercy, Su Shu's expression did not waver in the slightest. What they thought. Su Shu needs to relax after a big fight. This is human nature. But I didn't expect that Su Shu didn't have such human feelings at all. He seemed like a cold killing machine. Now they understand why Su Shu can become a big boss. You must know that there are not a few geniuses who awakened to the top talent but died in the proving ground. There are very few geniuses who can grasp the advantages and snowball, and each of them has something extraordinary. After a while, all the women died. Su Shu calmly ordered Zhao Yun to divide these corpses into 2 categories. It was also the first time that many of the selected candidates from Great Sha saw this kind of massacre, and they couldn't help but vomited. Su Shu looked at them strangely. Isn't the killing field just a place to become stronger through killing? What's so embarrassing about that? After hearing this, everyone including Lin Jia twitched the corners of their eyes. It cannot be said that Su Shu is inhuman. It can only be said that a person like him is simply too suitable for the killing field. The eyes of everyone looking at Su Shu couldn't help showing a little reverence from the bottom of their hearts. Whoever has the guts to kill a person is called a murderer. Those who have the guts to kill 10,000 people and 100,000 people. Then you will be called king. Su Shu was very indifferent. He took out some of the equipment seized this time. These equipment were all low-level garbage and were of little use to him, so they were stuffed into Lin Jia's hands. From now on, we will be a novice village, let's share it with everyone, and collect resources to build a base. No, this is your trophy, we didn't do anything. Lin Jia looked very embarrassed. I have already started planning this comeback in my heart. Be sure to report Su Shu's character to the above in detail. Perhaps, in the future, a real god of slaughter will appear in Great Sha. Take it if you want. Su Shu didn't say much, but just put the things in Lin Jia's hands. Then he waved to everyone. Everyone is going to build the base area. I have nothing to do now. Thank you for coming to help. Okay, thank you, boss. All the selected candidates of Great Shot turned around and left immediately. There was a lot of praise for Su Shu on the public screen. The boss has a handsome word all over him. And he's so easygoing, and even took the initiative to share things with us. It's an honor for us to come to this novice village. After this comeback, we will come to cheer for the boss together. Okay, I'm going to come over by plane. This time Su Shu completed the task ahead of schedule, giving everyone a 15-day preparation period, during which time they can build bases in advance. A big step faster than other novice villages. No one will pass up this opportunity. Soon, there was a sound of digging wood and moving stones in the novice village. Only Su Shu and Bailing Miao were left on the site of Qingfangjai. Bailing Miao took a deep breath. Up to now, her understanding of Su Shu has gone a step further. But I still feel that I can't see through the boy in front of me. At the beginning, Su Shu was unknown, only heard that he was an orphan who was taken in and raised by Lao Chen who sold tofu. And now I finally know how ruthless he is. Su Shu turned around and began to disassemble the female corpses, feeling faint expectations in his heart. The last legendary blueprint rewarded by the proving ground, the witch blueprint, can finally be made. He feels that witches are likely to be extremely powerful auxiliary units. After seeing the power of the god-killing team on the battlefield last time, he looked forward to it even more. With a wave of his hand, Su Shu asked Zhao Yun to escort the remaining 8,000 bandits to chop wood and dig stones. After all, basic materials are needed to build a base. Different from others, Su Shu needs 100 times more basic materials than others. These 8,000 bandits are still useful to him. Then Su Shu entered the back mountain alone, with the female body material in front of him, and took out the source fire and the witch's blueprint. Synthesis. Hiss. The back mountain was suddenly covered with dark clouds. In Su Shu's eyes, the sky and the earth trembled, and a force full of strange aura condensed out of the void. I'm here. The raving voice was full of madness. Su Shu's left and right hands immediately became strange. Covered with feathers and wriggling muscles, it looks disgusting. Is this showing me my original shape? Su Shu was terrified. You must know that he, who has mastered the trick talent, is now considered half a trick creature. A battlefield notification sound came from the air. Calling. A void tunnel appeared from midair, spinning crazily. I saw a pair of white and tender jade feet showing a bit of rose color, slowly appearing from the vortex. Accompanied by low laughter, there is a sense of weirdness that makes people crazy. The lower body is a Lolita-style black silk skirt, and the upper body is black silk gloves that are so thin that they are almost transparent. She was still carrying a lady's handbag with no visible leather. She looked lazy. It seems to be the lady who just returned from shopping. The face is a combination of Eastern and Western characteristics, with a high nose but delicate features. A pair of autumn water scissor pupils turned out to be dark red. Watching Su Shu smile, his eyes narrowed, and he bowed slightly. Master, hello, I am happy to serve you. Congratulations on synthesizing the lazy witch, Mavis. ... A line of data popped up in front of Su Shu's eyes. ... Lazy witch Mavis. Grade 1. Occupation. Lazy witch. Strength. 93. Agility. 96. Physique. 92. Mental energy. 3000. Natal ability. Make the opponent unconsciously fall into a state of laziness. Severe cases fall asleep on the spot, and consume different mental energy according to the level of strength. Skill 1 Fallen. Every time the target is released by the witch, the endurance will be reduced next time. Skill 2 Immortal Body. The witch's body is transformed by the eccentric energy. Unless the source is destroyed, she will never die. Skill 3 Sin of Laziness. Every time an object is controlled by natal ability, all attributes will be reduced by 1%, which is permanently irreversible. Combat rating. 9 stars. Su Shu was shocked. As soon as it appears, it is the 9-star combat power. But her level is only level 1. It is conceivable how much room for improvement there will be in the future. And even with only 9-star combat power, The auxiliary effect she can exert is extremely terrifying, making people unconsciously fall into a state of laziness. Isn't this effect stronger than the cunning talents of the previous god-killing teams? Biling Miao's eyes were somewhat sad. Su Shu has a soldier who is so beautiful that it surpasses human level, it seems that he will never be able to. She has no idea. Su Shu directly ignored the beauty of the lazy witch, which was far beyond human. Instead, he rushed forward excitedly, pointed at the bandit in the distance and said, "Show off your natal ability." The lazy witch nodded, yawned gracefully, and said lazily, "I obey." With a wave, a few thieves who were working in the distance stopped their movements and fell down slowly, sitting on the spot and not even wanting to move. Finally fell asleep directly. "I go." Su Shu was startled. "Make people lazy?" He immediately asked, "Do you have any other functions?" "Other functions?" The lazy witch yawned again. Spotting Su Shu's trousers that were torn before, she smiled coquettishly, "Do you want to ask about the function of serving you?" "Of course, but you have to be behind, because I don't want to move. As witches, of course we have to satisfy your master's desire 100%. After finishing speaking, she consciously lay in midair, floating, her slender and delicate body made people's blood rush. As a witch, she has learned human desires. Su Shu's complexion suddenly darkened. "Who the hell asked you this? I mean, do you have the ability to attack? Also, can you be more polite when you speak in front of me? Su Shu doesn't care if you are a witch or not. How dare you be so arrogant when you become a daddy's unit? Didn't you see how obedient Zhao Yun is?" He immediately said, "If you don't want to send me to be the master, go back." After speaking, he took out the attribute bar and prepared to delete this unit. The lazy witch panicked. "I didn't expect Su Shu to be so heartless." Immediately, he turned around and came in front of Su Shu. "There is no such elegant posture as before. Don't. The devil world is really boring. I finally got a chance to come out and play around. Oh no, to assist a lovely chosen one, just give me another chance." "Ah." Su Shu looked at her with a sneer on his face. This piqued his interest. "Still want to play with yourself? See who gets tricked at the end. If you want me not to delete your unit, stand up first." Su Shu coldly said. The lazy witch had no choice but to stand in front of Su Shu in an orderly manner. Under the boredom of hundreds of thousands of years, forced this lazy witch to do something against her own nature. She dare not be lazy. Biling Miao on the side was stunned. She hasn't obtained a legendary unit yet, so she doesn't know it at all. It turns out that legendary units have their own ideas. Su Shu nodded. "It's not too bad, you can be my assistant in the future." At this time, a slim figure in a golden rosy cloud's dress suddenly appeared and rushed into his arms. "Young master." Su Shu was dumbfounded, looking at Ling with teary eyes in front of her. What exactly is going on? At the same time, the battlefield notification sounded in his ears. The epic mission in the Central District conferring the king has been activated. Introduction. Fight for Dagon before the end of the novice and novice middle area, and if you get enough military merit, you will be given the title of Dagon, one word side by side king in excess of the quota. Note, the title of the king of one word is an epic title, and it also comes with an epic reward, the highest reward in the novice middle area. Su Shu felt that he was still a little numb. The long-awaited epic mission is finally here. But why is it so confusing? He couldn't help turning his gaze to Ling in his arms. "Don't cry. Tell me honestly, what is your identity?" Quote. Ling wiped his eyes, and said solemnly and crisply, "My lord, please don't blame Ling for deceiving you. Ling is actually the eldest princess, Zhang Ling Nanduska." Shocked, Su Shu broke out a Fuzang bird language. "From the villager's daughter to the magistrate's daughter, now you tell me you are the emperor's daughter. Do you want to be more outrageous?" Under Ling explanation, Su Shu finally understood the cause of the incident. Turn out to be, the place they are in believes in something called destiny. This thing is naturally the killing field that Blue Star population calls. Of course, the killing field is also called Own. Before the chosen ones came, Destiny had already arranged the preparations for these native countries in advance. No wonder the trial grounds and novice villages experienced by the chosen ones were all cleaned up and would not exceed the maximum strength limit. In the eyes of the natives in this world, people like myself are called destiny. Once it appears, it will make the country strong. Nonsense. Blue Star's 8 billion mad dog traversers have all come out of the cage, can they not be strong? As the princess of Dagon, Ling was the one who came to investigate the destiny. As a result, it came to own. I see, no wonder you have an epic mission. Su Shu muttered to himself. It seems that the Korean man's prediction was not wrong. Then Su Shu asked again, what happened to the body of the god attendant that just appeared? Ling showed some hesitation on his face, and slowly said, my lord, it's not that Ling didn't tell you, but the greatest danger in the world is because of her. Ling dare not say so, please forgive me, lord. Su Shu understood now. Co-authored Killing Battlefield is full of secrets. However, he didn't ask any further questions, but instead patted Ling head. It's good since I'm back, and I'll naturally know the rest. He has already made up his mind that this epic task is bound to be won. The blueprints rewarded by the 2 legendary missions are already so strong, how could the epic missions be worse? After all, the highest task of a stage can be completed. That proves that he is the strongest member of all the chosen ones in this region. When is there no fight at this time? At this time. A huge system notification sound came from the sky again. Epic spectacle. Dakion Dragon Vein has been discovered. All stats of the chosen ones of Great Sha increase by 5%. This beep came. Su Shu was suddenly startled. Big dry dragon vein. What it is. All Great Sha candidates in Dagon will add 5% to all attributes. Although it doesn't look like much, if you put them all together, that's a huge number. Although the screening of various novice villages is now coming to an end, having such help will also increase the survival rate of the candidates in the Great Sha. Who did it? At the same time, all the big summer candidates in the novice village stared wide-eyed, listening to the broadcast in the sky. Their figures also surged 5%. This is a huge group buff. Who? There are dragon veins in our novice village, who did it? Could it be that boss Su Shu has gone again? Impossible, Mr. Su Shu obviously never left Qingfengjai. Who could it be? Okay, I get it now. At this time, Lin Jia and a group of executives of the selected candidates were gathering together to discuss the plan after entering the novice middle area, but they were interrupted by this broadcast. Lin Jia stood up abruptly, his face full of excitement. No way, they really did it. The people next to him also showed excitement. They actually completed that task. This is too strong. At this moment, in an inaccessible valley in Qiantang County. Seen from above, this valley is a closed barren mountain. Who would have thought of being in the valley of this barren mountain? There is actually a bottomless pool of water hidden in a spring. At this time in this pool of water, 7 or 8 drenched candidates climbed up in embarrassment. Listening to the broadcast sound from the outside world, they let out a long breath. Finally finished. The leading man sighed. Finally, the task assigned by the superior has been completed. A short boy next to him laughed and said, we will definitely be rewarded by the superiors when we go back this time. In the future, the survival rate of our selected candidates in Daxia will be much higher. The girl on the side who was gnawing on the rations for combat preparations still had a look of horror on her face. In order to open up this dragon vein, our 3 Kunlun teams lost 2/3 of their people. It's too thrilling. But fortunately, the task is finally completed. They are naturally the Kunlun team that has never shown up in Daxia. Been discovering this epic wonder. But as soon as they came out, they discovered a strange thing through the leaderboard. Hey, what's going on? I thought that if we left, Daxia would be at a disadvantage. Why are there no other races left on the rankings besides our Daxia's selectees? How so? The Kunlun team was completely stunned. The leader, Captain Lu Feng, hastily sent Lin Jia a message to inquire. It took me a long time to get a reply. Lin Jia said proudly. Hey, you didn't expect that. Our novice village has a top boss who has completed the novice village's legendary mission and killed all the chosen ones of other races. What? Lu Feng led the Kunlun team, walked out of the valley slowly, and began to walk out. It was found that the candidates of the Great Summer were all over the place, and everyone was digging stones and cutting trees in full swing, looking very relaxed, as if they were on vacation. The shock in their hearts became more and more intense. The novice village was cleared 15 days in advance. What kind of existence is this big guy? After a while, Lin Jia took them to Qingfengjai where Su Shu was. Su Shu looked at the people in front of him, and his face showed strong curiosity. You can do it, and you managed such a big thing secretly. All the big summer candidates must thank you. Lu Feng hurriedly said. Don't dare, what you do is amazing. Even if we are here, it is impossible to do so well. After speaking, he gave Su Shu a thumbs up. Where is there? Su Shu said simply and politely, and asked impatiently. I heard that you have the talent of the mysterious system. What kind of talent is it? Can you let me have a look? Lu Feng hesitated a little. According to the regulations, it is not allowed. But now that Su Shu has spoken, he let go of his worries. Okay. He waved to the people around him. The people around me immediately got ready. Lu Feng said, actually, what we have mastered is not the complete talent of the mysterious system, but the talent of the mysterious system. Talents and cunning talents are only available at the novice middle stage. Quote, we were given mysterious materials by the superiors before we came to the killing field. After finishing speaking, the 5 of them showed Su Shu a small khaki calabash, half a piece of broken iron, and a piece of broken bamboo stick. Is this the mysterious material? Su Shu felt a unique aura. Immortal qi, to be exact. Then several people activated these mysterious materials at the same time to match the talent on them. The bodies of several people merged into one. The combination formed a 3-foot-tall existence with a strong and mysterious aura. Wearing silver battle armor, immortal qi is reckless, which only makes people feel the powerful combat power. This is our team's mysterious talent, a heavenly soldier. The celestial soldier opened his mouth and explained to Su Shu with a bit of complacency. Handsome. Su Shu's eyes lit up. It can even transform into an integrated union. The heavenly soldiers moved again, and released several tricks, which were powerful, as if the real heavenly soldiers and generals had descended into the world. Lu Feng explained with a smile, the essence of Zon system talent is actually identity. Identity. Su Shu was a little puzzled. Lu Feng nodded. Although we are only an F-level team, we are naturally compatible with these mysterious materials that are enough to form the identity of the heavenly soldiers, and then fused together, we have part of the power of the identity of the heavenly soldiers. I see. Su Shu sighed secretly, and then said, heavenly soldiers. Isn't there a heavenly general, heaven court? Jade Emperor, Great Emperor. Lu Feng was stunned for a moment, and said happily, you guessed it right. The Kunlun team of high rank is rumored to have these identities. It is rumored that the top mysterious talents also have the ability to teach and intercept teaching, Sanqing. Only a small number of those selected in the Great Sha can fit the identities of these talents. Quote, Su Shu was just guessing casually. Stupid now. Doesn't that mean that a mysterious talent can control the power of the wild? The prehistoric myth of Great Sha. It turned out to be the root of the mysterious talent. This is even more terrifying than the power of the cunning system, or at least equally terrifying. Do not, Lu Feng said in a mysterious tone and shook his head, it's playing a part of the prehistoric power. Su Shu was fascinated when he heard it. All the gods and gods that were familiar to me when I was a child came to mind one by one. Erlang God Yang Jian, Sun Wukong, Old Ancestor Styx, Dragon King of the Four Seas. The magnificent prehistoric world seemed to appear in front of my eyes. He didn't expect that the mysterious talent controlled by Da Sha would be such a high-level power. No wonder, after the Kunlun team dared to descend, they went directly to the epic wonder. But Su Shu can also see that the talents of the mysterious system can only play the identities of these ancient gods. In fact, it is not bad to have a 10,000th of the original power of these characters. But Su Shu believed it. As long as you keep improving, you will be able to control the power of those ancient gods. Certainly, the cunning talent controlled by the alien race also has its strengths. It is conceivable that if the cunning talent develops to the limit, there will definitely be a real old master, or even the old master. Such a powerful existence can play with the rules in the palm of his hand. Then how to obtain the Zon system talent? Su Shu asked Lu Feng impatiently. Lu Feng, who had already turned into a heavenly soldier, smiled, you will know when you come back this time. Su Shu didn't ask any more questions. Lu Feng's eyes were full of fighting intent. I heard that you singled out an 11-star existence this time, why don't you compete with us and let me see how strong you are? Lu Feng is the captain of the Kunlun team. In the entire Linjiang city, they are talented candidates favored by many gods. Facing Su Shu now, he couldn't help but a flame rose in his heart. It is good. Su Shu smiled lightly. He didn't use his blood and skills, but just launched the flash talent, which appeared in midair. Relying on the strength of the fairy body, the heavenly soldiers have the might of 9-star combat power in every gesture. And the duration is also about to pass. He impatiently punched Su Shu loudly. Boom! Everyone watched helplessly as the punch landed in front of Su Shu. But Su Shu neither dodged nor dodged. Let this punch hit own. The next moment, something horrifying happened. Boom! This punch not only failed to injure Su Shu in the slightest, but instead caused Lu Feng's heavenly soldier's body to start to crumble to pieces. Everyone was dumbfounded. Bounce back. Tianbing didn't even break through Su Shu's defense, but let Tianbing's own power bounce back. It's not a skill, but Su Shu's body is too strong. Su, how strong is Shu's body? Even though the heavenly soldiers just formed a phantom, they couldn't even break through Su Shu's defense. It's too outrageous. Su Shu smiled lightly. The gap between him and Tianbing is now 3 stars, how could the opponent hurt him? He hasn't spoken yet. Lu Feng returned to his original appearance with some shame, and walked towards Su Shu. The boss is the boss, it seems that I have entrusted him with it. It's all right. Su Shu patted him on the shoulder. After returning, do you still expect you to tell me how to get the Zon system talent? Hey, Su Shu, you will definitely have a mysterious talent, don't worry. Lu Feng smiled resolutely. It depends on the chance to get what kind of mysterious talent. Su Shu nodded, didn't say anything, and looked forward to it in his heart. What kind of mysterious talent will I get? Which prehistoric character's identity? The other members of Kunlun's team who were defeated by Su Shu with a single blow had expressions like they had seen a ghost all over their faces, discussing in shock. How is this possible? With our strength, we were actually bounced back by him. This is the first time I can't even break the defense. How strong is this boss Su Shu? Lin Jia and other candidates from the Great Shah who were watching the battle from the outside became even more awed by the eyes of Su Shu. Lin Jia stepped forward and said to Lu Feng and the others, you just went to discover the wonders and haven't had time to level up yet. Take advantage of these few days to increase your level first, and we will help you. Thanks. Lu Feng nodded gratefully. The Kunlun team has been discovering wonders for the past few days, and there is no time to level up. Everyone's level is still at the 5th-6th level. Now there are so many people taking them to brush together. The level will definitely increase quite quickly. There are still 15 days of preparation, no one will give up. Everyone was doing their best to collect materials, and Su Shu was certainly not idle when brushing the level. These days, he is sitting in the government office of Qiantang County. He held Ling Er in his left hand and fed him grapes, while Bai Ling Miao sat in his right hand and beat him. He didn't expect that. In such a cruel place like the killing field, I actually enjoyed the treatment like a club. The thieves kept digging mines, cutting down trees, looking for water sources, and sent them to Su Shu. For the remaining hidden missions, Su Shu also let Zhao Yun lead a few people to clear them. Now he can. It is said that there is nothing to do. Hey, Xiao Bai, why do you think I have to play so fast? I have nothing to do now. Su Shu said to Bai Ling Miao helplessly. Bai Ling Miao sighed. She knew Su Shu didn't mean to boast, he really couldn't be idle. Soon, Zhao Yun and others completed all the remaining hidden missions in Qiantang County. Brings 2 level 3 skills and 1 level 2 skill to Su Shu. And expanded Su Shu's portable space to 100 square meters. With a space of 100 square meters, Su Shu is enough to make a morgue. After Su Shu acquired these skills, he couldn't help but feel ecstatic. You can combine skills again. He immediately decomposed most of his skills, including the few knife skills he had acquired before. Baiqiu Library. This is not a level 4 skill. Except for Heaven's Punishment and Warrior skills, all skills are integrated. Ding, you have obtained a level 4 sword legendary skill Wukong Blade. No Void Blade legendary level. Passive effect. When using knife skills, the lethality is increased by 50%, and blood is sucked by 20%. Effect 2 empty. it has the effect of solidifying space, which can slow down the opponent's movement, and invest in mental energy to form a small-scale space enchantment. Effect 3 Timing. It has the effect of freezing time, which can freeze time in a small range, and the stronger the opponent, the worse the effect. Call. Su Shu couldn't help feeling ecstatic in his heart. Level 4 Legendary Skills. This is too strong. Not to mention the increase in lethality, it also comes with blood sucking. The effect is that it can solidify space and time. Although the solidification effect is not that powerful, it is time and space together. Give the enemy such a blow when you start, who can stop it? He quickly used this skill. Although the other several skills are all used. But with the skill, No Void Blade, it was on top of several melee skills. Fortunately not disgraceful. Zhao Yun half knelt in front of Su Shu to reply. Su Shu said with a smile to Zhao Yun, "Nothing happened recently, I have discovered this novice village, you can take your brothers to practice, you can also go to the county town to have fun, find a woman, do whatever you like. In a word, freedom of movement. My lord wants me to marry a wife." Zhao Yun frowned suddenly, his eyes glowed brightly. A big man only suffers from bad fame, so why bother not to have a wife? Su Shu nodded. The nearly 2,000-year generation gap with Zhao Yun is no joke. And he also remembered Zhao Yun's famous saying. As predicted, after Zhao Yun finished speaking, he immediately said to Su Shu, "My lord, you should cultivate your martial arts and work hard to govern. You must know that this place is based on killing, and it is definitely not a good place. How can my lord be so addicted to singing and dancing?" As Su Shu, the county magistrate still arranged for Su Shu a pair of dancers to perform in the hall, and Su Shu only regarded them as background boards. It was said by Zhao Yun. Su Shu really felt a bit like Uncle Lu Huang. Uncle Lu Huang in Jiangdong. Su Shu said speechlessly. "I have been fighting for a month, so can't I relax?" Zhao Yun sighed and left. Su Shu waved his hand and said to the singing girls dancing in the hall, "Keep playing the music, keep dancing." The 8,000 bandits worked together, and all the materials needed for the construction of the base area have been collected. Only one source of fire is missing. Wang Kai also led the pack of wolves to continue killing the beasts in the mountains. Su Shu turned on the public channel and sent out a sentence. "Who hasn't collected enough materials, come to me and line up." This time Su Shu did not remain anonymous. As soon as this sentence appeared on the novice village public frequency, all the candidates were shocked. "The boss is here, the boss is here. What is this for? Stop talking nonsense, and follow the command of the boss. Yes, let's go wherever the boss says." Su Shu didn't have another word. The 8,000 bandits were sent out directly to find materials for all the selected candidates of Daxia. Immediately, the praise of Su Shu on the public channel resounded through the sky. "I'll go, how could there be such a good boss? My base met the requirements in one afternoon. What is this heaven-defying speed? A total of 8,000 bandits, is there anything more terrifying than the boss? Thank you boss. From today onwards, I am willing to serve as a lackey for boss Su Shu. It is our luck to be born in this novice village." When Lin Jia, Lu Feng and others saw this scene, they couldn't help being stunned. "I was very moved. It can be seen that Su Shu is not just cruel and inhuman, nor is he an ignorant saint. It's that he has his own concept of doing things in his heart. This kind of person is extremely difficult for others to figure out what he is thinking in his heart." With the help of Su Shu, everyone in the novice village collected materials by leaps and bounds. Soon, large and small bases are established everywhere in Qiantang County. There is the Ghost King Hall, the Practitioner Mountain, and the Immortal Sect. The worst is naturally an ordinary village. Some people even got a bandit camp as a base, but it is only the lowest G level. After the construction of a base starts, it takes at least 3 days to build it. 15 days passed in a hurry. Most of the people had established their bases, and after taking them with them, they took 1 or 2 corpses of ferocious beasts or corpses of other natives, and went to thank Su Shu. Then turned into White Light and returned to Blue Star. Gradually, all the selected people in the novice village have returned. Even Bai Ling Miao returned. Even if they can only return to Blue Star for just 3 days, everyone can't help but want to go back quickly. Who likes to be in such a dangerous place? Only Su Shu was left. On this day, Su Shu came to a valley with a beautiful scenery, where 8,000 bandits also gathered. Su Shu coldly waved his hand to Zhao Yun, who was practicing tiger and leopard riding not far away. Kill. Yes, my lord. Zhao Yun immediately sent his army forward, and 8,000 bandits were blocked in this small valley. None escaped. All were killed. The reason why these bandits were used up before killing them was that Su Shu wanted to drain their full value. After howling all over the sky, Su Shu began to decompose the corpse, and the source fires appeared in his hands one by one. Successful synthesis. You have obtained a D-level source fire. Successful synthesis. You have obtained a C-level source fire. Successful synthesis. You have obtained a C-level source fire. The synthesis is successful. You have obtained the B-level source fire. Su Shu synthesized all the source fires from the 8,000 bandits. Even ordinary bandits only have one F-level source fire. With such a large number base, Su Shu also successfully synthesized a B-level source fire. Enough is enough. Su Shu's eyes were full of anticipation. The boat of good fortune. It can finally be synthesized. Without further ado, he directly took out the blueprint of the good fortune boat fragment. Put all the materials together. Synthesis. Ding. Do you want to synthesize the base good fortune ship fragment according to the blueprint? Yes. Wow. All the materials in front of Su Shu's eyes were integrated into one. Under the power of the rules of the killing field, it began to slowly solidify. The brilliance of thousands of colors, the heavens sing. Countless mysterious and profound formations emerged, and Su Shu even heard the sound of the ancient masters reading in his ears. Past, future, present. The power of the third stage is projected in the sky. In the sky, a huge phantom of a long river was formed. In this long river, a dilapidated giant ship slowly approached, carrying a strong ancient atmosphere. Su Shu could clearly see that the giant ship was extremely dilapidated, with huge potholes everywhere. The hull of the ship seemed to be built purely from a piece of giant jasper like a mountain. Now there are ancient traces of knives and axes everywhere, and I don't know how many cruel fights have been experienced. But this gigantic ship is simply too big. The size of the huge ship can be seen by Su Shu alone, which is comparable to Qiantang County. This is still the most dilapidated state of the good fortune ship. Most of the ancient formations in the giant ship have been broken, only 2 or 3 formations are still operating normally. It can be seen that there were originally attic palaces on the giant ship. Now there are only 2 or 3 small buildings that are damaged, and they are also crumbling. A lot of waste is waiting to be done. Su Shu sighed. Baikyu Library. But the next moment, Zhao Yun and others who followed him onto the giant ship heard a notification sound in their ears. Nurtured by the ancient formation, all attributes increase by 1/10,000th every day. Su Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. It is worthy of being the boat of good fortune. The king of ancient artifacts. Even if it is broken to this extent, the passive effect can increase all attributes every day. One can imagine, after it is completely restored in the future, the strength of the arms in it will increase exponentially every day. Too strong. The remnants of the ship of good fortune in the base area are being built. A system prompt sounded in Su Shu's ear. He saw that the huge hull was gradually changing from imaginary to real. It will take at least 3 days to condense a base. Naturally, Su Shu couldn't wait here. He ordered Zhao Yun, the lazy witch, and Ling Er to wait here, then turned and left. Choose to return. Su Shu said something lightly, but he couldn't hide the excitement in his heart. We can finally return to Blue Star. I don't know how happy old man Chen will be. The longing and anticipation in his heart made Su Shu close his eyes. Returning. Whoosh. He turned into a white light. But what Su Shu didn't expect was, after he left, Ling Er looked at the huge good fortune boat, and a look of extreme excitement suddenly appeared in his eyes. The young master has actually controlled such a powerful fetish. It seems that some things from the slave family can also help the young master. After speaking, Ling Er turned and left. The barrier of the novice village didn't work on the natives, so Ling Er headed all the way to the capital of Dakion. At this time, Blue Star. A month has passed since the arrival. The weather has officially entered midsummer, and I know that Didi is making a loud noise. The fiery summer makes all parts of Daxia boil extremely. Countless social media, news, radio, all reporting this incident at the same time. The third batch of chosen ones has returned. The third batch of chosen ones has returned. ... I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know what kind of good results our big summer candidates have achieved this time. HMPH, if it wasn't for being assassinated by other alien races in the last arrival, our great Shah's chosen ones wouldn't even have a 10-star combat power. Linzhong City, as the capital city of the southern provinces. The news of the return of all the selected candidates in Linzhong City immediately activated the excitement of everyone in the southern province of Daxia. The parents of the chosen ones had prepared in advance and stood guard at the gates of the major schools, waiting to see their cubs. Of course, more people are still trembling. After all, they knew how terrifying the elimination rate in the killing field was. Most likely not to come back. It was rumored all over Linzhong City. Nothing else. It was a matter of two alien geniuses coming to visit. In a taxi, the driver was angrily saying to the foreign guests, "Our Linzhong City, Osaka in the Sakura country, and Xinjiang City in the Great Eagle country are all cities that have been determined before this arrival." As soon as the unselected returned, Xinjiangcheng and Jinducheng came with their talented candidates, threatening to wipe out our Linzhong geniuses. The guests were shocked. Is there such a thing? Of course, since several countries joined forces to assassinate our great Shah has made contracts with these countries through the temple. The major cities compete with each other, and the strongest geniuses will be selected. Reward from the temple. The driver relished talking. The genius sent by Xinjiangcheng of the Great Eagle country this time is named Augustus. It is rumored that he is a super genius who has awakened to an A-level talent. Just after passing the novice village, his combat power has soared to 10 stars, and he has also won a piece of talent. Legendary equipment. And that genius from Sakura country, who has awakened to AB level talent, is not a good stubble. I don't know how big we are. Can Sha Tian kill them? Quote. Sure, even foreign tourists couldn't help clenching their fists when they heard this. No way. This is the case in Daxia and other countries. Either our genius has passed, or the enemy's genius has come. The purpose is to overwhelm the opponent and win the favor of the temple. Baikyu Library. Shrine. It is a building left by the killing field in Blue Star. Many gods gather in it. It can be said that it is the center of power that controls Blue Star. At this time, the urban area of Linzhong City was almost empty. And in the very center of the city, in a 100-meter building, almost surrounded by the chosen ones and their parents from all over the world. Even many celebrities and big names can only become a foil for the selected ones at this time, coming up to sing and dance. On the high platform of the huge venue, there are 9 honored seats. The faces of the people sitting on it could hardly be seen clearly, but it was felt that they were exuding an aura that brought together the aura of the world. For this competition, the 3 prince-level powerhouses from Linzhong City are all here. Exactly. There are also several vassal-level powerhouses from other countries, who also brought their own geniuses to be chosen. Many people are whispering. In the venue, a group of blonde-haired, blue-eyed or short teenagers could be seen faintly, with supercilious eyes, watching everything around them. That haughty look that didn't take Da Sha seriously at all immediately angered everyone outside the arena. These little fool are too crazy. This is our great Sha territory. I can't help it. People are here in the name of competition. The expressions on the faces of many of the great Sha candidates in the arena were ugly. On stage, a blonde and blue-eyed prince-level powerhouse slowly stood up. This is the strength of our chosen ones who participated in the competition. Yamada Kinoshita, 8-star combat power. Qianyu Chunyuan, 9-star combat power. Augustus, 10-star combat power. Dancing in the Wind, 9-star combat power. Michael, 9-star combat power. After exploding the combat power of these teenagers, the blonde-haired and blue-eyed Lord-level powerhouse smiled and looked at the several great Sha Lord-level powerhouses beside him. Mr. Lin, I see. There is no need to compete in this competition, right? Quote. How about reporting directly to the temple and announcing the victory of our great Eagle Kingdom Xinjiangcheng? After listening to this, the faces of the 3 great Sha Lord-level powerhouses sitting in the upper positions were all gloomy. But he didn't speak. He turned his head and looked at the chosen ones of the great Sha below. Even with the addition of Su Shu and his novice village among the candidates in Linjiang City this time, there are only 3 strong players with an 8-star combat power, and only 1 with a 9-star combat power. The gap is too big. It makes them want to talk, and it's hard to get face back. An old man in the middle stood up abruptly, without seeing any movement. The space of the audience seemed to be frozen. He said in a low tone, "Whoever loses wins, you have to compete first to know. Our great Shah has never died without a fight." The blonde and blue-eyed prince-level powerhouse sneered, "Old Lin, you are still as stubborn as you were back then. In this case, let you die happily, but you have to know that once the competition really starts. According to the rules of the temple, casualties are allowed. If we accidentally kill 1 or 2 of your geniuses, don't blame me." The old man of Great Shah princes also sneered. "We can have dead geniuses in Great Shah, but there is absolutely no coward who flees without a fight. ... Consul Lin is really going to fight them. Consul Lin is right, we must not flee without a fight. Yes, there will be successors, and this national soul cannot be destroyed. ... There was a commotion below, and the tone was extremely resentful. But no one was afraid. The blonde old man nodded to the 10-star young Augustus. Augustus said nothing, raised a 9-foot-long giant sword from the void. The gigantic sword seemed to be made of gold, filled with a tyrannical killing aura. It caused bursts of exclamation from the surrounding people. The sword in the stone. This legendary weapon was actually obtained by Augustus in the novice village. Strong, it's simply too strong. Augustus stood up proudly. He waved his hand to all the selected Daxia candidates present, and said in a calm tone, "You guys, let's go together." The selected candidates in Daxia all looked indignant. But now Su Shu has not yet returned, so he can only hold back his anger. "I come." Lin Jia gritted his teeth and stood up, angrily said in a low voice, "If the boss's construction base hadn't returned a bit late, how dare you?" The situation was urgent, and before they had time to report Su Shu's matter, they were beaten by the Great Eagle Kingdom. He is now 8-star combat power. He was also the first person to complete the construction of the base with the help of Su Shu, and he is considered an outstanding person to reach this step with the help of AC-level talent. Limited to talent, it still cannot be compared with real genius. Augustus interrupted him impatiently, and said with a sneer, "If you're afraid, just say it." With a gloomy expression, Lu Feng tugged on Lilinji's sleeve, signaling him not to say more. Then he showed a relieved smile to Lin Jia. "Even if you delay, it's not your turn. I'm the captain of the Kunlun team. I heard that you killed Gao Dashan in order to protect Su Shu's identity, in general." "Captain." Hearing this, Lin Jia couldn't help but put his hand on Lu Feng's shoulder, his eyes blushing. After speaking, Lu Feng walked directly in front of Augustus and said coldly, "Your first opponent is me." After the tense escalation in the last 10 days, Lu Feng was too far behind, and his current combat power is only just 7 stars. It is a full 3-star combat power away from Augustus. But he calmly stood in front of Augustus, and took out a fine steel long sword. "Let's start." Everyone around showed worried expressions to Lu Feng, and their hearts boiled. "Knowing that you are invincible, you dare to shine your sword, that is brave." "Ah," Augustus sneered, "is there only one person with backbone in your great Shah?" These words made Lin Jia, Tan Yan and others extremely angry, and they all rushed forward. "The first battle is up to me." Lu Feng stopped them all by himself. "Everyone go back." Lin Jia and the others let out a long sigh and retreated slowly. "Act recklessly." All I saw was Augustus shaking his head mockingly. Raising the golden giant sword in his hand, a sword ray pierced the sky and rushed towards Lu Feng. Boom! In an instant, Lu Feng was sent flying more than 10 meters away. He slammed into the wall beside him, vomiting blood and seriously injured. Everyone's expressions were suddenly shocked. 10-star combat power, it's too strong. Not to mention there is a legendary weapon. ... It's really overwhelming, and I still want to fight with Lord Augustus. The blonde-haired teenagers and the Sakura country teenager couldn't help but sneered a few times. However, at this time, but Lu Feng, who was seriously injured, did not admit defeat, but stood up unsteadily. His whole body was already stained red with blood, but he resolutely raised his sword to Augustus. "Come again." The three armies can win the commander, but the common man cannot win the ambition. Everyone was shocked. You are courting death. Augustus also felt a wave of anger, his body flickered, and he raised his sword forward impressively. Lu Feng's face was covered with blood, and he shouted angrily, Tianyan heavy armor. Sea-level earth talent, Tianyan heavy armor. His body was covered with a thick layer of armor, but it was broken inch by inch under the powerful sword ray. After all, the difference in strength is too great. Even so, Lu Feng under the blazing sword ray did not retreat a single step. At this time, boom, the door in the venue was suddenly knocked open. A lame, hunchbacked man with a flustered expression ran in, as if he didn't know what was going on in the venue, so he rushed in rashly. Still muttering non-stop, "Where's our shower? Who saw our shower?" He looked extremely anxious, and with red eyes, he nervously searched for the figure of a certain boy among the crowd of chosen ones, but found nothing. This movement undoubtedly interrupted the tense atmosphere in the venue. The two strong men who maintained the order of the venue immediately stepped forward to drag the middle-aged man out. But suddenly he was stopped by the blonde and blue-eyed prince-level powerhouse. He walked towards the middle-aged man, looked carefully at the man's face, was startled suddenly, and then laughed. "You, if I remember correctly, you should be Chen Feng." Ha ha, the strongest defensive player in Daxia back then was known as the. How did the man of Jade Vajra get mixed up like this now? Quote. Ha 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 ha. The alien prince couldn't help laughing after finishing speaking. The tone is full of mockery and elation about the events of the year. As soon as these words came out, everyone present was shocked. He immediately focused his attention on the lame middle-aged man. There was an unbelievable look in his eyes. Will he be the strongest defensive pick that year? Jade Vajra. How is it possible? Jade Vajra is a powerhouse who has awakened to an A-level talent. In order to cover the army, he once blocked 300 foreign powerhouses by himself. How could it be mixed up like this? Chen Feng, a little impression, Pen Fun Library. It seems that Jade Vajra, Chen Feng was besieged by more than a dozen candidates from the Cherry Blossom Kingdom during the last final battle, and in the end he only had the strength of a soldier. The lame middle-aged man heard these words, suddenly fell silent, as if recalling the past. Then he spit out a sentence. Don't mention what happened back then, I'm just an ordinary person now. Turn around and prepare to leave. ... Ahem, Edmund, the game continues. At this moment, the old man, one of the three great Xia Prince-level powerhouses on the stage, coughed. The foundation of the building shook violently. Everyone's soul trembled, and they almost felt that time began to run faster, and their hearts were even more astonished to the extreme. The foreign prince looked at Chen Feng's back and sneered, then nodded. The competition continues, who else dares to play? At this time, ding, a figure of a boy in a sweater with a skewer in his mouth appeared from the elevator entrance. No one noticed him. He also just watched what happened in the field curiously. After Su Shu returned, I found that there was no one at my tofu stand, and the whole city was empty. I had no choice but to go home and change into a suit of clothes, and wandered into the hall with the crowd. Just entered the lobby. The scene in front of him made his face suddenly turn cold. The figure flickered instantly, appearing in front of Chen Feng. Father, I'm back. The fact that Setsuna was able to appear in front of the Lord-level powerhouse talent immediately caused many people in the field to cast their eyes on him. You boy. The moment Chen Feng saw Su Shu, he wept with joy, and he hugged Su Shu into his arms, trembling all over. He whispered, You boy, I knew you would come back alive. After finishing speaking, Chen Feng secretly turned his back and wiped some muddy tears from the corners of his eyes. The worries in my heart were finally let go. Boss. The boss is finally back. Great. The appearance of Su Shu made the hall boil immediately. The faces of many candidates selected from the Great Summer were overjoyed, and Lin Jia was the first to rush up to Su Shu, and lowered his head in shame. Su Shu, I'm sorry, we gave you the losing face. Su Shu looked at the Augustus with their nostrils upturned in the field. Immediately understood the situation. Seeing Su Shu coming, Lu Feng, who was seriously injured beside him, finally couldn't hold on anymore. The steel long sword fell to the ground with a bang, and passed out with a relieved smile. Many of the selected players in the arena saw Lin Jia, who had a 9-star combat power, so respectful to Su Shu, and regarded him as the boss. I can't help being suspicious in my heart. Who is this sweater boy? The 3 great Sha princes above were staring at Su Shu even more at this time, with a hint of shock in their eyes. Not for anything else. It was because they discovered that they couldn't check Su Shu's attributes. As a prince, he couldn't check the attributes of a chosen one. This is the first time. There are only 2 possibilities. Either Su Shu used props that they couldn't see through, or this kid's talent level was high enough, at least SS level. The blonde-haired and blue-eyed princes of foreign races in the arena also suddenly became gloomy. Because he also can't check Su Shu's attributes, and can't see through his depth. He immediately looked at Su Shu with a half-smile and said to Chen Feng, "Brother Chen, in your capacity, my son should go to Yanjing district to participate in the competition. Why is he in such a small place as Linjiang? Why don't you give it to me? Genius recommends some, learn from each other." Before Chen Feng could speak, Su Shu had already stood up. He said indifferently to Edmund, "There is no need for referrals, I have no interest in knowing dead people." Wow! As soon as these words came out, there was an uproar in the field. Even the 3 great Sha princes above who heard this were all shocked, and then showed a strong look of appreciation. Of all the chosen ones present today, he is the only one with such tyrannical self-confidence. Caesar and other geniuses of other races on the side even showed overcast. They thought that they would be invincible when they came to Linjiang City, and all the candidates in the Great Sha had to bow their heads to themselves. But did not expect. The young man in front of him took the step of underestimating them and directly regarded them as dead people. Who is he? How dare you say such a thing? Edmund's face gradually turned ugly. But he didn't dare to provoke a big war at this time. After all, this is Daxia's territory, let alone attack a junior. He could only sneer a few words. The young man has a serious tone. If he doesn't have this strength, he won't live for long. Su Shu had already supported Chen Feng to the stage and sat down. Then his figure flashed onto the battle platform again, and hugged Lu Feng who had fainted. Baiqiu Library. Everyone in the arena was shocked by the young man's calm demeanor. Even in front of many princes. If it is an ordinary person, I am afraid that they will not be able to stand firmly in front of the princes. He still behaved generously, without rushing. Then Su Shu came to the stage again. Augustus looked at him coldly, and sneered, "A coward who doesn't even dare to reveal his attributes is worthy of being my enemy." And Su Shu didn't even look at him. Instead, he looked at the 3 princes of the Great Sha on the stage, and said slowly, "My lords, I think that in today's competition in Linjiang City, it may not be enough to just have the competition between the 2 parties and the rewards from the temple as the prize. I'm willing to take out these things, how about raising the stakes?" Wow! Su Shu abruptly took out more than a dozen items seized from Caesar before. The highest level even reached the sea level. Seeing this scene, everyone outside the venue was stunned. There was a look of shock in his eyes. With so many props, I'm afraid it will cost hundreds of killing points. The killing value is the hardest currency in Blue Star today, and the Blue Star exchanged into Blue Star is hundreds of millions. He actually threatened to use these props to raise the stakes in the competition. There has never been a precedent. The 3 great Sha princes above looked at Su Shu with even more radiant eyes. After hearing this, they nodded slowly after a little thought. This young man dared to talk so eloquently in front of them, his demeanor alone was enough to determine that he was absolutely extraordinary. Is this really Chen Feng's son? The 3 of them thought at the same time. After Su Shu finished speaking, he looked at Edmund indifferently, "Dare you?" Since the arrival of Su Shu, the situation of the audience seemed to be controlled by him alone. Even several princes followed his rhythm. This kind of demeanor made many of the candidates below couldn't help feeling excited, and they couldn't help but be impressed by Su Shu. Listen, finish this sentence. Edmund's eyes were as cold as a poisonous snake, and he had tasted the feeling of being ridiculed before. Although Su Shu's ridicule is indifferent, it is powerful and hits people's hearts directly. As an ordinary person, I asked a prince, "Do you dare?" Is there anything more arrogant than this? He couldn't see through the strength of the young man in front of him, whether he was deceiving himself, or if he really had something to rely on. After half an hour, Edmund nodded. Okay, I don't take advantage of your junior. As long as you can defeat one of us, you will bet 200 killing points. Su Shu's bet was not enough. He turned his head to look at the princes of the great Shah above. The 3 princes of Daxia hesitated for a moment, then nodded, yes. Su Shu couldn't help but burst into joy. 200 kill points for killing a person. Is the competition so profitable? The match begins, Su Shu versus Augustus. An announcement came from the hall. Everyone on the field dispersed immediately. Su Shu stood opposite Augustus, but Su Shu didn't make a move for a long time. And the next moment, unexpectedly, Su Shu pointed at all the blonde boys behind Augustus, as well as the boys from Sakura country, and said flatly, "Come on, all of you." Shock. The audience was nothing but shocked. These faint words did not contain the slightest emotion, but expressed extreme contempt. Not as arrogant as Augustus before. Just a word of silence, you all come up. The faces of the 3 great Shah princes above all changed. They didn't expect Su Shu to be so arrogant. What is his strength? Edmund's complexion suddenly became as pale as a pig's liver. It can be said that Su Shu doubled the arrogance that Augustus had made towards the chosen ones of the great Shah before and gave it back to the great Eagle Kingdom. All the aliens turned ugly. Augustus' eyes instantly turned red with anger, and without a word, he slashed at Su Shu with his sword. Wow! Sword rays shot out infinite rays of light, blurring the figures of the 2 of them, like a round of golden sun. But after the light fades away, all can see clearly. Augustus held the sword in both hands, maintaining the posture of chopping down, while Su Shu slowly stretched out his hand to hold it gently, and firmly dragged the huge sword in front of him without making an inch of progress. Repair shine. Then he shook his head indifferently and pointed at Augustus. You cannot. Pointing to everyone behind Augustus. You guys go together. Shock. Now everyone was completely shocked again. How overbearing is this? How arrogant. Holding the sword with one hand. You cannot. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.